Here it is episode 69 of Vtuber Talk, and please welcome my guest for this evening, Ladybug Beri.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, hello.
Anyone there?
Is anyone there? I'm not sure. Don't worry, voluptuous lamp. The whole stream is not on that screen. We're on this screen. So welcome on in, Beri. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh no, the pleasure is all mine. Actually, come to think of it, if my memory serves me right, this is not the first time that you've been on a talk show, because if I'm remembering correctly, the first time I saw you actually was on a Domodachi show.
It was. You probably did see me on Domodachis. It was like a year ago. Jesus Christ.
It's been a while. It's been a while for sure. And that I don't usually, go to a Domodachi show to sort of, source my own show. But it's the type of thing that I'm tuning in, and I'm always just sort of thinking in the back of my head, oh, if someone pops up and I think they have a good personality, that I might want to keep an eye on them in the future. And I think you're only the second or third guest that I've initially found from there. But it was the type of thing that I remembered seeing. It was like, no, she seems to be, holding her own, having good conversation, good personality.
Wow.
Started following, and it was like, yeah. So it's just been just sort of in the back of my mind for a while. I was like, all right, I want to find time to get Beri on the show. That, goodness knows, it is very easy for me as a host in terms of, there are so many VTubers out there. There's so many talented VTubers out there. There will always be more incredible people than I could ever have the time to talk with. So I'm certainly fortunate in that regard, but I'm also very fortunate that so many incredible folks have taken a chance on me, taken time to speak with me, because I recognize, people don't need to be on my show to be successful or anything. So thank you for taking time out, but it's very nice to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me. Yeah. Oh my God. I can't believe. I think I do remember you following. I remember seeing you follow me that day. That day was so chaotic. Thanks for giving me a chance.
I can't imagine it's chaotic. That, obviously I'm not a VTuber myself, so I don't participate in all that mayhem. But I hear stories of just, it's the big lottery and everyone's sort of standing by hoping that.
Yeah, I remember I had just recently introduced like VT Chaos to my stream that day, I think, which is a program that lets your chat like spin you around and everything. So I think on that Domodachi is I was like spinning around.
Or was it still on?
Cause I was actually streaming beforehand, and I was like, oh, I joined the Domodachi's server because I was like, oh, this is like a one in 1,000 chance. Like, am I really gonna be chosen to go on the show?
That's how it goes. It feels like there's a few every time that say, yeah, I was literally just live, had to end my stream to pop in on here.
Yeah, but thank you so much for giving me a chance that day, and it's been like a full year since then, and oh my
It's
God.
been a while. Time flies.
Yeah, I was just a young bug back then.
But yes, we sort of jumped right in, so I'm sure most of the folks in the audience tonight are already familiar with you, but for those who aren't, or whoever might be watching on YouTube after the fact, hi YouTube, if you could introduce yourself.
Hello! For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Beri, and I'm a ladybug, otherwise known as Ladybug Beri.
Pretty much what it says on the tin.
Yeah, what you see is what you get, I play a lot of variety games, and I think is my selling point. I've been told I have a lot of little sister energy, so if you like unplugging the controller and giving it to your sister, I guess I'm the type of vibe.
There you go. Someone with younger siblings, that does scan, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I am a younger sibling myself, so I think it's just in my blood.
Yeah, so welcome on. That you've been pretty busy. It's hopefully been a good week for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. We were talking about this earlier, but I've been waking up at like 7 a.m. every day, for no freaking reason.
Oh, don't worry, Barry. You're allowed to say fucking here.
Yeah, fuck. For no fucking reason, I've been waking up so goddamn early, and I wake up and it's like I'm just so lonely, you know? Everyone in my household is sleeping. It's summer. My friends are asleep. My Discord is barely
Even
active.
I don't wake up at that hour. At least
Yeah,
I don't
I
do that
know.
intentionally.
Oh, so it's just been a lot of that.
But hopefully, you know, even if you are waking up at normie hours, that hopefully it's still good days that you've been having.
Yeah, definitely. I hope you and everyone listening has been having a good day too. Or
Indeed,
good week.
indeed. Yeah, hey, and it's Friday, so it's a great day for sure. And
Yes.
actually, so just last night, you were doing a Pokemon Nuzlocke stream with a friend who is also a bug VTuber, funny enough. I feel really bad. I'm blanking on her name right now, if you could remind me.
Nio Speed, yes, she's a centipede VTuber.
Yay, yeah, she was great. That I had never actually seen her before, but I'm gonna probably have to keep an eye on her as well. But you two seem to be having a very good time. There was a very fun moment in the stream. Well, I suppose it was fun for the viewer, probably not as fun for you. You know, for those of you who know Nuzlocks, that basically it's a special set of rules for Pokemon where you're only allowed to catch the first Pokemon that you catch on a route. If it dies, it's dead for good. And that the two of you were actually doing a randomizer version. So, you know, anything could appear anywhere. And you used an old rod and just cast it into a river on the new route. And lo and behold, you hooked an Entei.
Yeah. It does end up like that sometimes. You know what? As you know, I was gonna say something, but it just disappeared out of my head. But
the
you
fortunate
know how
part
it
there
goes.
is, since it was on an old rod, it was only a level 5 Entei, so at least it wasn't the situation where sometimes, you know, you're doing a randomizer Nuzlocke. Oops, I ran into a Lugia, and it's level, even a level, you know, 30, 40 Lugia can still just wipe your team, and that could just be the end of your run.
Yeah, or
least
you
this
get Sonic Boom to oblivion.
Oh, yep,
I mean, what? That's never happened. What?
Certainly not. Of course not. That's preposterous. But at least this was a level 5 Entei, so you weren't in any danger. But as we found out, like, I actually pulled up, just, you know, on my browser, a calculator for catch odds. And it turns out that even a level 5 Entei, if it's asleep and at, like, 30% health, has, like, a 2.5% catch rate on a Great Ball and only, like, 5% with an Ultra Ball. I didn't realize it had that bad a catch rate.
Yeah, those dogs suck.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you were not able to walk away with an Entei, but at least you didn't have any losses either, so...
Yeah. I mean, I can't say the same for the rest of the stream, but yeah, at that very moment,
I missed
had
it,
no
because
losses.
I had some other things to do later in the evening, so what did I miss?
No, nothing. Nothing happened. We don't talk about the events that occurred on July 7th, 2022.
Nope. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
If you
story,
don't
we're
watch
sticking
it,
to
it
it.
didn't happen. But yeah, Niall is a very good friend of mine, and I feel like I tried to, when I first debuted, I tried looking at all the bug VTubers I could find and like following them and trying to interact with them, and even like new ones right now, I tend to like follow them and look at them, because usually bug VTubers have such nice designs, especially if they're like more on the monstrous side. And I feel like, you know, there's like a kinship, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually doing a quick little inventory of my past guests, and I think you are the first bug VTuber I have ever had on the show.
Yeah, we're breaking the ice. We're
there we go.
Going where no bug has gone before.
Yes, indeed, because I mean, I've had slimes, I've had skeletons, I've had all manner of cats and foxes and idols, but never a bug. So here we are, 69 episodes in, finally getting there.
We're filling out the interspecies reviewer roster.
Yeah, or the VTuber Pokedex. There we go.
Yeah. That's probably better to say.
Barry eats bugs. I don't think that ladybugs are carnivorous.
Yeah, ladybugs aren't carnivorous, but I did eat bugs for a special stream.
Oh?
Barry can have a little bug as a treat, you know?
Just as a treat. So, what was this? Was this a subathon or something like that?
I forgot what was the occasion, guys? Oh, I think it was I passed like 2K. It was like 1K, 2K, 3K followers or something.
Okay.
One of those.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 2K celebration, yes. So I ate a tarantula, I ate some crickets, I ate some larva, I ate some grasshoppers, I think. No, maybe not grasshoppers. But
I knew
it was
that
like
you could buy grasshoppers, tarantulas, and crickets. I didn't know that you could buy larvae.
Yeah, it was I think it was. It looked like a larva. I don't know. They all tasted like dirt, so I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I think I've had crickets before, but that's the extent of it for me. And that the crickets, as far as I remember, they were just crunchy and like they didn't taste
tasteless.
like much at all.
Yeah. You can get the flavored crickets, but they're not much better. The flavoring is just so artificial on them.
Yeah, because at that point, you could be having flavored anything.
Yeah, at that point, I would just recommend you go to your local grocery store and buy some Lay's barbecue chips or something.
Yeah,
don't go the extra mile.
So I'm always on the lookout for things that for my 1-year anniversary in January, I did a charity donathon to benefit Child's Play, which is a charity that gets games, resources, and support to children in hospitals and domestic violence shelters. And it's something I plan to do again next January. And I'm sort of always just keeping an ear out for, all right, what are some cool things that I could do? I don't know if eating a bug is one that I'd want to do. Well, I guess I'm not actually that opposed to it, because like I said, I've already had crickets, so maybe that is one I should do just because it sounds great to the viewer. It's one that they would probably get a kick out of more than I would actually dislike it. So maybe that is one I should go for.
Well, if you want recommendations, I'd recommend the boiled tarantula, because they all taste like dirt, but at least the tarantula comes in one package that you can just eat in one mouthful.
Okay, yeah, well, the tarantula, just on sheer shock value, I think that's certainly the biggest one of the bunch. That obviously, Hachima from Hololive is sort of infamous for her tarantula cooking streams. That's one I've never had myself. So is it fuzzy or is it boiled to the point where it
was a little bit fuzzy?
Because that's the thing that gets me. Of just, I'm not worried about the taste. I'm not worried about safety, but from a sensory point, eating anything fuzzy that normally that's not something that you do. Just it's not a pleasant sensory experience. But I'd probably get over it for charity.
Some people eat like kiwis whole. I learned recently.
Okay, that's true. I guess if it's only kiwi level fuzz, that's probably okay. I've had kiwi before, where I don't usually eat them whole, but sometimes I'll slice them, and that if it's just that little ring of fuzz on the outside, that's okay. Okay, I might have to look into this.
Yeah, Barry likes eating bugs. Ladybugs eat aphids and other small creatures. Listen, guys, you think I can be contained by fucking what you think of ladybugs as? Huh? You think I can just be contained by what your puny mind thinks of me? Sorry. I would say that later.
Oh, no. You're fine. You're fine. Barry's too powerful to be contained.
No. I'm pure. We're having a good time. I've done nothing wrong.
Certainly no war crimes. Nothing like that.
No, not at all. Who'd you hear that from, huh?
Nope. It definitely does not say that every time you commit a war crime that you get another spot in your Twitch bio.
Listen, I was required by the federal government to put that in the bio. It's like the FDA regulation, okay? I don't think you understand what's going on here, huh? Do you want to make this a problem? Do you want to make this a problem?
This is just fine, Barry, and whatever bug FBI agent is watching right now. Yep,
okay.
We're cool.
Okay.
Oh man, she's being followed by the IRS now. That's scary. That's scary. VTuber taxes. That's the stuff of nightmares.
do not mess with the IRS.
Oh,
no,
nope.
no, I would never.
Okay, so outside of eating bugs and doing some perhaps definitely nothing went wrong Nuzlocke, you mentioned that you're a big fan of roguelikes in particular, and that Enter the Gungeon was one that helped get you into that genre, and I've seen some folks play that one. I always get confused. That one is not BPM, but Enter the Gungeon, I forget if that's... Is that the one that's similar to... I think they did a Legend of Zelda.
It's a bullet hell.
Okay, no, I am thinking of a different one.
Legend of... Oh, yeah, they have, like, an Easter egg for Legend of Zelda in there, yeah. Like, there's a character named Lonk or something.
Okay, so maybe I am thinking of it, because there was a Legend of Zelda rhythm-style game that they did.
Oh, it's not a rhythm game, though.
Okay, so I'm just thinking of something different then. Yeah,
it's just a bullet hell roguelike. Definitely a big learning curve, but that's all roguelikes, I feel like.
Yeah. But, have you played... Well, I guess... Does Vampire Survivors count as a roguelike?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've never played Vampire Survivors on stream, but I have played it in my off time.
Yeah, that was one that I've played a lot. Probably best $3 I've spent on Steam.
I actually so I have this thing, and my viewers know this very well, where I'm like a cheap fuck, and like any purchase I spend that's like not gacha, I have to like put all the pros and cons of buying it. And I remember I put on Vampire Survivors on my wish list, because I put every game that I'm looking at on my wish list, right? Because I'm like, it's on Steam. Who's gonna look at my wish list? Some rando I met on CSGO 3 years ago, right? And actually my bug sister Ren bought me Vampire Survivors, and I think in the letter that you can send people when you gift them something on Steam, she said, "Barry, it's literally $3."
Yep. That was what got me that one of my past guests, Kieran, was playing it, and she was just having a really good time. And I remember seeing it's like, it's $3. If I play it for 5 minutes and hate it, then whatever. It's not a huge loss. And I've probably logged somewhere between 40 and 50 hours on that game. That it's just the type of thing that I'll sort of have in the background while I'm watching a stream or something else, and just enjoy it. It's been a very good game. Really impressive, honestly. Just how addicting that one is.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just like test myself. I'll be like, okay, will this work? And then I leave for like to refill my water or go to the bathroom or whatever, and just leave it on and see if I survive.
Yep. That's a good litmus test of, can I walk away for 30 seconds to a minute and be all right?
Yeah, it's like putting your hand on the stove and seeing if your brain reacts in time to say it's hot. Otherwise, you might need to go to the hospital. A very good litmus test.
Yes,
don't try that at home.
Don't try this at home, kids. By the way, Nero22222076 and Caden Chrisium, thank you for the follows.
Thank you.
Yeah,
oh yes, Hollow Cure was a big one too.
yeah, that I feel like that's almost surprisingly the first sort of Vampire Survivors knockoff that I kind of expected there to be more with how simple the game is. But,
well, I think Vampire Survivors itself is a knockoff on another one.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's a whole genre of, it's a subgenre of roguelikes, just like that.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of gacha, so you mentioned that when it's not gacha that you are more frugal, but that then implies that you are not as frugal when it comes to gacha.
Thanks for inviting me on the show. It was really fun.
Good show, everyone. Bye.
Oh yeah, I used to be a very addicted gacha player back way when. But I've been reformed, you know. I've weaned myself off of it mostly.
Which games were the ones that you fell in deepest for, if you don't mind my asking?
Definitely Fate Go is up there.
Yep. That gets a lot of folks.
Yeah, that one is like the quintessential one, isn't it?
Especially for this community, I think.
Yeah, there's been some others that I've played. I think I was really into Food Fantasy as well.
That's one I've heard of. I've only seen it like once or twice, but I am familiar with that one. That one sort of had a heyday. It feels like it was around a year ago.
Yeah, it was around 1 to 2 years ago. I do not spend 95% of donations on gacha for himbos. That's not true.
No, it's only 90%.
No, it's not. Oh man. Yeah, we don't talk about my gacha. I'm reformed, guys. I spend my money on VTuber stuff now, okay?
Now it's VTuber gachas. I'm surprised there isn't like a VTuber gacha yet. The fact that Hololive hasn't made a gacha game yet is almost impressive. They participated in gacha games, though, if memory serves. That there was the
It's only a matter of time. You've just activated your monkey paw. What have you done?
There it goes. Hero bless or Hero BS. Thank you for the follow. I forget what it was. I think it was dang it, why am I blanking on? There was a Crunchyroll anime that they had a collab with where I think it was Kiara and a couple others. Actually,
was it Princess Connect?
Thank you.
Yes, my friend really got into that.
Yep. That I think it was Kiara and a couple others who had an event on there. So Hololive has done gachas of that sort, even if they don't have their, own just yet. But perhaps that's for the best.
Yes, there have been like Valkyrie Connect. There's definitely like Kizuna Ai has been in a lot of gachas and stuff. I think Kiara, Pecora, Ina, and Laplace were in Valkyrie Connect, if I believe.
Yep.
Yeah,
Caden Christian just said those exact four.
Yeah, I read Caden's. I'm sorry, Caden. I just plagiarized your ass. Honestly, bad on you. How dare you share your thoughts? I'm sorry, Caden.
Yeah, I've never really been one for gachas myself, but I also say this as someone... by day, I worked for a game developer, and at one point, the game that I was working on was a gacha game. So, gachas have literally paid my bills at one point in time of my life.
Oh yeah, I mean, gacha in it of itself isn't really necessarily a bad thing. Like, yeah, it's like it borders on. It's pretty much gambling, but
as long as you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, and as long as you don't have an addictive personality, and
that there are responsible levels of gacha, and that the free-to-play model, it subsidizes it effectively for the non-paying players, and it's just one of those things that it's certainly been interesting to see that model for gaming go through its rise as it has in the past couple of decades. And it feels like, honestly, gacha is in a bit of a decline now, that we're seeing a lot more, innovative and different monetization models. We're sort of getting back to more subscription-based stuff that you have now, Xbox Game Pass and the like, becoming more of a thing. But just sort of from a broader industry perspective, and I'm just a giant business geek anyways, that I find that stuff fascinating.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on the player side of things, I think I was actually a co-owner of like a massive guild in one of my gacha games, and I remember hearing a lot of bad stories about players using their FAFSA money for gacha, not paying off their credit card bill, struggling to feed their family. Not good.
Nope.
More often than not, you'll hear stories of that. So yeah, I think gacha in moderation, it's fun, right?
Yeah.
But definitely you need to know your own limits.
Pull responsibly, folks.
Pull responsibly. Hello, Kitsune. Hello,
Hey, May. Good to see ya.
I
Now,
am not going into debt.
no. She is
No,
killing
no,
innocents, though, but that's
no.
a separate matter. What was the one character or banner that, you really wanted, and whether or not you got it, in just one or two pulls or that it took a lot, what was the one that you were like, this is the one I'm going to go for, that I'm going to use whatever saved up crystals I've gotten? Oh no, have I just stumbled upon something?
Yeah, this actually happened to me around a year ago. I remember, I think it was on... It was almost like exactly a year ago, maybe around May or June. FGO came out with Arjuna Alter, which was a character I was looking forward to for around 2 years. Because the Japanese FGO game is 2 years ahead of EN.
Yeah, EN doesn't get any surprises that it's you
Yeah.
can literally see into the future.
It's very nice to budget, and so I budgeted at the time with my part-time work. I budgeted around $700 to spend on this man. Not really spending on anything else. Spending those 2 years, well, maybe 1 year closer to. I didn't spend the full amount. I spent 500.
Well, hey, you budgeted for it, so
I did.
So you were saying, I know I
People
want
do
this
not-
thing, and I am setting aside this money in advance that I
Yes,
know
yes.
is okay to spend.
Exactly.
Like, yes, I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot of money. But the fact that you had the foresight and just the wherewithal to say, all right, I'm setting this aside, that I am, saving a little bit here, saving a little bit there, that even if that is a lot, which it is, but that you had that forethought and that you had your limit of 700, and, well, at the very least, you didn't need all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's that's what people get shocked over. But you have to know, I'm very lucky to be able to save that much money in the first place. But at the same time, I did have 1 year, you guys, as a part-timer.
Yeah, and that it wasn't, you're not eating and just stockpiling money for 2 weeks or something, and that's all you spent on, but it's, a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, over a year's
Like,
time.
it was
But
just
that's
like,
not...
oh, I don't need this knick-knack, or I don't need this bag,
Yeah, that's
you just
$5-10 that you throw into the FGO fund, and that
come on, guys.
When the time is right, that is when you break open the piggy bank. That's what it's for.
Maybe I'll talk to the grandma at the counter a little bit more so she gives me extra tip money, I'll humor the grandpa going off about his spiel about how the place I'm working at sucks, just so maybe he can give me more tips,
Hey, sometimes
like
that's what you
that.
gotta do.
Yeah.
So, I'm guessing then that, were you a Fate fan prior to FGO, or was FGO what got you into that particular franchise?
It was FGO, because I initially got into FGO because, a voice actor I really like voices a character, so, I asked my friends about it, and they told me, oh, Barry, you should buy an account with him with an account that already has him, because he is a character who doesn't appear often and is very rare. Yeah, so I got into FGO initially by having friends already into the series and deciding for me.
Gotcha. So, which character and which voice actor?
It was Merlin, and the voice actor is Takahiro Sakurai, and he also voices like Cloud Strife and Tentomon from Digimon, and Geto Suguru from Jujutsu Kaisen, and
Gotcha. That it's like, I'm very good at recognizing English VAs. I watch more sub than dub nowadays, but I'm I'm still not stellar at recognizing Japanese voice actors. I'm starting to recognize a few here and there. I guess the ones that I usually am able to pick out pretty easily are, like Jun Fukunaga is definitely one that usually catches my ear just because he has a very particular range.
Fukuyama Jun or the Fukushima Jun? Or
Fukuyama.
Yeah, Lelouch and
Yep.
yeah.
Code Geass is my favorite anime, so that's part of why I definitely recognize his voice.
Yeah, definitely. Like, as you watch, like, especially the popular anime, if you watch enough, you can definitely pick out voices. As long as you just don't go the route of me, where literally sometimes I cannot watch anime that doesn't have a voice actor I like.
Oh.
My brain is rotting.
Hey, everyone has their thing.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has their thing.
I ended up watching Code Geass too was a very particular pick for me because I watched it when I was younger, but obviously when you're young and stupid, you're not gonna understand like the stuff that goes on in Code Geass well, right? So
yeah,
I would always
it's a very
like...
I'm not gonna call it the smartest series ever, but one of the things I very much like as a viewer is I like smart characters doing smart things. Just
yeah,
Code
it's
Geass,
a very
Death Note, and the like. That
it's a very strategical show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like Code Geass growing up. And after around high school, I think, when I got into voice actors, I noticed, oh, my favorite voice actor voice is Suzaku in Code Geass.
There you go.
So I ended up watching Code Geass, and I really, really liked it. To the point where I even watched the movie that recently came out, or maybe it's not recently, it was a few years ago.
It was a couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the movie that came out, and I was very, very into it. But too bad Suzaku is also a controversial character.
Yeah, he's got his ups and downs in the series for sure.
He definitely does.
That's part of the fun, I suppose. Nero asks, what about Steins Gate?
Steins Gate is one where I really want to get into it, but so here's the thing. I bought the visual novel when it was on sale like a few years back. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to watch the anime. I want to read the visual novel. I want to play the visual novel of the game so I get to experience how like it was in its like kind of most popularized form, right? Or one of its, right? And I haven't got to it, and
Oops.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to watch the anime because I have the visual novel, but I never play the visual novel, you know?
Well, maybe that's one that you eventually do on stream, and that's how you sort of force yourself to finally get around to that one.
Oh god, me with reading.
I very much enjoyed the anime. I've never actually gone through the visual novel, but I assume that the visual novel is just what the anime has and more. So
yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's like you get almost the same experience because Steins Gate also has like multiple series in the anime where I think they explore different routes.
Yeah, I know there was Steins Gate Zero, which is sort of a continuation. I never got around to that one. But I've seen the original.
Yeah. It really is like that. There's just so much good media and never enough time.
Yep, we live in an age of, it's an embarrassment of riches. It's no longer, going to your local Blockbuster, hoping that they have a anime VHS or DVD and that, would have 4 to 5 episodes and that they're probably never going to actually get a new one in stock to, we're getting most of what's being broadcast in Japan simulcast or available for streaming within a day or two here in the US, or at least outside of Japan, and that like you said, there's never enough time to watch all of it.
There's just too many choices.
And then there's VTubers to watch as well that, you know, we're spoiled. We're absolutely spoiled nowadays. It's a good time to be a nerd.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, it's so crazy how, like, even, like, anime and manga becoming, like, bigger. Like, when I was younger, I got, like, when I said I read manga or watched anime, people would be like, what the heck is that? Or, like,
Yep.
that's so weird, right? But now it's, like, kind of, like, how are you gonna fit in with the kids if you don't put a little hair on your chest and watch some One Piece, watch some Jujutsu Kaisen, watch some fucking banger shows?
Yeah, we've finally made it that just even if it's not fully mainstream per se, that it is mainstream recognized. That I would say that not everyone in mainstream culture watches anime and reads manga, but everyone's aware of it at this point. And at least says, oh yeah, that's a thing. It's whatever. It's maybe not my thing, but it's not something that people are gonna look at you funny.
Even like within that niche, you have like VTubers, which are gaining rapidly popular. I mean, I'm sure you saw at AX. There are probably lines and lines at the HoloLive, Shoujo.
The HoloLive booth. The HoloLive booth sold out of most of its merchandise on day one.
Oh yeah, I heard there was like a line.
They drastically underestimated how many people would want to buy their stuff, and I can sympathize a fair bit with them, especially for HoloLive, because you have to assume they're shipping product from Japan, and that shipping costs on pallets internationally is not cheap. So they probably wanted to err on the side of caution, especially it being their first AX, of just, you know, they don't want to be stuck with a whole bunch of stuff that they didn't have to pay to ship back to Japan, because at that point, that could just wipe out whatever profit that they made. So
yeah, it was probably like it was probably their first booth at AX too, because AX has been like offline for like
it was the first one in 3 years, because it didn't happen in 20 or 21. That they had a booth at Anime NYC late last year, and I think they had a booth at, I think it was Anime Central.
Yeah, but AX
show,
is just...
but it was their first AX for sure.
AX is a whole nother beast.
Oh, yeah.
That is a that sure is a beast, you know.
Yeah, and they'll be prepared next year. Meanwhile,
like,
the Shoujo booth was doing super well, and yeah, there was just a whole bunch of posts going around on Twitter of folks who were there, and you know, some people blogged about it, some didn't, but VTubers are very much a thing, and it's here to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I heard there was like a line for the line for the line at the HoloLive booth.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no one expected VTubers to blow up so much a few years ago. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's something I've discussed with previous guests, and I think it's a variety of factors. That part of it is the barrier to entry of just technology. That, you know, 5-6 years ago, you needed a $10,000 rig to be able to VTube. Now you can do it with an iPhone. Now you don't really even need an iPhone, and just VTube Studio or Live 2D. That it's cheap, if not free, software and some very accessible technology, and you can get, you know, a free model that's already rigged. And sure, it won't be custom, but if you're literally just saying, what does it take to become a VTuber, you're set. Or you can just, you know, go the PNG route, and that's just as good. But there's that, and then obviously, you know, everyone being inside for 2020 and the vast majority of 2021, that that was sort of right place, right time in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it definitely, like, if you had told me 2 years ago, like, I initially wasn't really into VTubers. Like, I had friends who were, and they tried to get me into it. But I just couldn't, like, wrap my mind around it until, like, I think Hollow EN really brought in a lot of people.
Yep, that's what got me in. That a friend of mine had been into HoloLive already, so I had seen a couple clips here and there, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's fun, that's cute. Like, I could see myself watching a clip or two, but one, it's all in Japanese, and I don't speak Japanese, so I'm not going to tune in for a stream where I can't understand anything, and I didn't really know at that time, oh, there's also just a bunch of English VTubers here on Twitch and a couple others on YouTube as well, but it was the Holo EN debuts that it was Callie's, because I think she had the first one, and I happened to be, at that point in time, my work schedule had me waking up very early. So I was able to actually tune in live for it. And I'm someone who loves conventions, loves live events. I'm very much an extrovert. Surprise, surprise. The guy that hosts a talk show is an extrovert. And seeing chat Zoom during that debut and just sort of the energy and the excitement that was something, because at that point it was September. That was a type of energy I had not felt in 7 or 8 months.
Oh yeah, definitely. The sense of community. I don't know if you saw, but like I remember seeing a video of Gura doing Muse Dash, I think, and somebody took a video of her streaming it and then also recorded her Discord, her fan Discord, and the chat in there was going wild.
Yeah. And it was just, obviously seeing a YouTube chat or a Twitch chat, Zoom is not the same as being in a big expo hall with a bunch of other people, but
yeah,
it was certainly the closest thing that I had felt to it in a very long time. And then obviously, the personalities, that they are just very good streamers, very good personalities. And here we are almost 2 years later, that it was a couple months after that I started falling into independent VTubers and checking out the scene here on Twitch. And I knew I didn't want to be one myself, but I was like, what if I did a talk show?
Yeah.
So I missed a follow. Billy BB, thank you for the follow.
Thank you.
So you said that the Holo EN debuts were actually your entry point as well. That were you tuning in live? Did you see them after the fact?
I think like I saw the aftermath a lot, and I got really interested because I was like, oh wait, they actually like their designs are so nice, and their their personalities are so funny and so cute, and like you just like kind of fall into the rabbit hole, especially with YouTube. Fucking YouTube. If you watch one clip, if you're not even into VTubers, rest in peace, bozo.
That's the other thing, the other factor of, barrier to entry of technology, people being inside because of 2020, but then also just the YouTube algorithm did its job. Boy, howdy, did it do its job. It was like, oh, you like this thing, so here's some more of this thing.
Yeah, I had known of VTubers from Kizuna Ai, but I've never watched, or at that point I had never watched like a stream, because Kizuna Ai was like all like pre-recorded videos. Yeah,
and that she was in 3D, that I was aware of Kizuna Ai and was like, okay, this is a thing. I didn't know the term VTuber at that point, but I was like, I know that there's this digital virtual idol that isn't Hatsune Miku, who records videos instead of doing concerts.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorites in HoloLive? That when we were messaging earlier in the week, you were sending me a good number of HoloLive gifts.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just think the HoloLive gifts are really cute. And there's like an abundance of them, so
Very true.
I'm sorry if you hear my dog in the background.
I don't hear it, but even if I do, it would not be the first time that a pet has guest starred on VTuber Talk, and it won't be the last.
Yeah, but I really do like I really like Ame from Holo EN. I think she's really creative.
Yeah.
And I think Gura and Ina are super cute too. Yeah, there's like a bunch of VTubers that I have respect for, but sometimes I can't necessarily watch them because I'm either busy with my own streaming stuff or watching like Twitch indies.
Oh, don't worry. I very much identify with that because, like I said, it's episode 69 today, the big number. And obviously I don't invite someone on my show unless I'm already familiar with their content and that I enjoy their content. And naturally, I want to keep up with my past guests as well. And it's getting much more difficult, Barry. It's so much more difficult than it used to be. That, 10 episodes in, like, oh, I can pop in on all of my previous guests every week. At least once a week that I'll pop in on their stream and be like, hey, what's up? Watch for, I don't know, 10, 30 minutes at least, and still be able to search around for future guests. I can't tune into 70 different streams a week as much as I would love to. It's the type of thing that, and unfortunately, my guests have been very understanding that I still do try and like pop but
yeah, I don't think you should run yourself
ragged. There's not enough hours in the day. There's just not.
Yeah. I think you don't have to worry too much. I think they appreciate just the support, like the thought and stuff.
Yeah. But, that just goes back to similar to anime of that we have that embarrassment of riches. We have so much good content out there that, any time of day, it doesn't matter if you wake up in the middle of the night. Sure, there might be a couple fewer in your time zone, but there's always a VTuber live on Twitch. Always.
Yeah. Exactly. Even when sometimes I have like bouts of insomnia and I wake up at like 4 a.m. Oh, hey, someone's fucking streaming. Of course they are. It's either demon hours or they're from another country. Yeah,
and that's the great part about it being global. That anywhere in the world, every time zone, there's going to be VTubers, and whether it be in Europe or Australia, Asia, where have you, that there's folks around the world, and that's one of the really cool things about it.
Yeah.
Nero says, ask Barry what happened to people in Oxygen Not Included.
Oh, yeah. So Oxygen Not Included is a survival game where you basically take care of a bunch of small people who are trying to survive on a planet. And I named a lot of them after chat, and let's just say life is tough.
Life is tough, especially when oxygen isn't included.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So you mentioned to me that streaming for you has really allowed you to experiment more in gaming and given you sort of the excuse or the opportunity to explore games and genres that you might not have otherwise.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, when I used to play games, if I wasn't playing like a silly little gacha game on my phone, I would play, Apex Legends. I would play like games with my friends, but I wouldn't ever really try to play games on my own, Maybe sometimes I'll get like an itch and like I would play Enter the Gungeon sometimes, but it was really, I didn't really go out of my way to play a lot of games or to experiment with different game types, But with streaming, I'm like, oh yeah, this game, like even if it'll be shitty, like I can still have a kick out of it with chat, And sometimes like taking a chance with a game that I think looks good turns out to be, wow, this game is actually really fun, or it is extremely frustrating, which is fun to watch.
Yeah, at that point, it's just good content.
Yeah, so like games like Omnibus, I think, where you just drive a bunch of buses. Yeah, I remember I bought Project Zomboid, things like that, and also playing games that like I played during my childhood, or maybe I know a lot of people played in theirs, like Pokemon Stadium and Psychonauts, like experimenting with different types, and definitely, well, when it comes to the games that I played during my childhood, like reliving stuff that I probably wouldn't have relived.
Yeah, just going through that nostalgia.
And, or just experiencing what other people experienced and being like, yeah, I would not have enjoyed this as a kid. Or this would have filtered me hard as a kid. Do you even still play Project Zomboid? I do occasionally. Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Pokemon Stadium, and if memory serves, you said that you haven't played a mainline Pokemon game before doing this Emerald Randomizer Nuzlocke, correct?
On stream, I have never.
On
the
stream,
last time I played a mainline Pokemon game was like X and Y, and I
Okay.
barely played that.
Well, even so, if you made it all the way through X and Y, that still means that you probably played a couple over the years. So, that you know, you're gonna know the basics at that point, even if it's been a little while.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, even if you had like a passerby explain it to you, you could probably pick up Pokemon pretty quick.
Yeah, but I feel a little bit better because I was thinking, wow, Barry just jumped in the deep end doing not just a Nuzlocke, but a randomizer Nuzlocke. If you haven't played a Pokemon game through you don't need to play all of them. But if you've never played any mainline Pokemon games before, don't do a Nuzlocke. You're not gonna have a good time.
Yeah, no. I mean, the reason why we chose Emerald is because Niall's the one who hasn't really played any Pokemon games, mainline Pokemon games. But I remember I actually grew up with Pokemon Sapphire. Yeah, that was one of my go-to games, and yeah, a lot of memories surrounding that, good and bad.
Yeah, but you mentioned Pokemon Stadium. That was so much fun. I never had a N64 growing up. I had a Game Boy Color growing up, but I didn't have a console until the GameCube, which I got for my 10th birthday. And Pokemon Stadium remains, just that was one whenever I was at a friend's house that, we'd always be playing the mini games or doing the rental battles. That's one that I've always been surprised that they didn't continue going on the GameCube and in other ones, because I thought that it was just a great game.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Pokemon games kind of have like a what is it called? A soft spot in my heart. Yeah, because I used to, growing up, as like the younger sibling, I used to play the only console we really had was, or the only non-handheld console we had was the N64 throughout like middle school and stuff, for me, middle school. And I would always play games on there with my sister. We would play like the Pokemon Stadium mini games. We would play Smash Bros. We would play Mario Kart. Yeah, and it has like a really, really soft spot in my heart because I just remember playing a lot with my sister, even though she always wanted to be on the opposite team from me and always wanted to beat me up. Maybe I shouldn't say soft spot. Maybe like just a spot.
Yeah, it's a spot. There are memories there.
There sure are memories. A procedural Pokemon? That's just Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, you silly.
Yeah, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon was good. It also make you cry. At least the first one does. Every time.
Yeah. I remember playing a lot of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Red, and Explorers of Time, with my sister as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember specifically, like, in Pokemon Red, like, there's, like, a story element where, like, they say, oh, if you touch a Ninetales' tail, then you'll get cursed. And yeah. And I remember, I don't know why I remember this so vividly, but I remember when that happened in game, I got so scared. And my sister was like talking about the Phantom of the Opera or something, so my kid mind had like conjured up a monster mixed with like Ninetales and the Phantom from the Phantom of the Opera. And I thought,
so was the Ninetales now wearing like that half mask, or
I don't, like, it was just an eldritch abomination. Like, I couldn't comprehend it, but I just knew it was mixed like up of those two, and I remember thinking he would come out of my bed and like snatch me and curse me.
Oh no.
Why did I think that?
Yeah, it happens when you're a kid. It just does.
Yeah, I used to be scared of a lot of things as a kid. Like, you know, the Disney Channel movies, a lot of them, especially during Halloween. I hated Halloween growing up.
Oh, why'd you hate Halloween?
Cause it was always like, you know, they would like Cartoon Network would be like, you're in for viewer beware, you're in for a scare, and like show Goosebumps after a certain hour, and then you have Disney Channel showing like that Boogeyman Disney Channel movie, and Halloween Town scared me, that Halloween Town movie. And then you have like the Twilight Tower of Terror movie with Eddie Murphy.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, they all scared me. I hated all of them.
I've never been a big fan of horror. I think what it was, because now that I think about it, because there were some freaky things that, you know, Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon would show. I think it was just that I didn't watch them, that I saw the commercials and was like, nope. I will pass on that. I'll be trick-or-treating that night and getting candy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for some reason, I would make up, like, superstitious rules about those kind of things. Like, what was it? Like, if I was watching Cartoon Network and suddenly they had shifted to the Goosebumps portion of, like, the network, then I would have to be, I was like, oh, I have to watch the opening all the way through. Otherwise, like, my mom's gonna die or something. Like a chainmail, right? Like, send this to 5 people or your mom's are gonna die. Yeah. But in that case, it was like, watch the opening or your mom's gonna die. And I remember that it was the same for like
Poor little bear.
Yeah, it was the same for like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Courage the Cowardly Dog was messed up.
Yeah, that one was just straight mess. That was fucked up, bro. Why did they do that?
That was one that, like, you know, just that feels trauma. Like one that I was kind of surprised that they aired that show on Cartoon Network, because that almost felt like something that would have been Adult Swim worthy. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, the big floating G in the opening will get me. I remember watching, when I watched anime when I was that young, when I watched D. Gray Man. D. Gray Man scared me, but I still wanted to watch it. But I made up this rule. It was always in 5s. I would be like, I have to watch 5 episodes, and if I don't, then like
5 episodes.
Yeah, then like something.
How'd we escalate to that from watching the opening?
I don't know, but I wanted to watch the episodes, but I would always be like, oh, it has to be multiples of 5, as if that would protect me, you know. And then yeah, it was. I don't know why I thought stuff like that. Even like when I used to go outside with like a ball, I would have to bounce the ball in multiple of 5s. And I just realized this might be a thing I should talk about my therapist with. Not, I think that might have been a genuine issue. And
well, the bottom line is you recognize it now, at least.
Yeah.
That, you know, if you're a kid, that's whatever. That as long as it doesn't escalate, and that, you know, to this day that you force yourself to do things in multiples of 5s. That if you've moved past it, I don't think it's a big deal. That, you know, everyone does or did weird things when they were a kid, and anyone who says they didn't is lying.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would purposely put food on the floor and suck it up like a vacuum.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I would do. I don't think I would do that on the floor. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't do that on the plate once or twice. Okay, yeah. As long as you make sure the floor is clean.
Yeah, you know, every kid like threw themselves down the stairs trying to slide down.
Oh yeah, who doesn't try to slide down the stairs?
Yeah. And now it's like when I try to go down the stairs and my mind is like wandering for 1 second, I just trip and fall. And I'm just like, oh, May. And my ass hurts like the next 5 days over. Oh, man.
Yeah, you throw yourself down the stairs because you're trying to like slide down.
Yeah, you're trying to slide down. Yeah. Sometimes, like, if you were feeling really fancy, you try to take a cushion and like slide down.
Yeah, sledding
that.
basically
yeah,
downstairs.
But yeah, you work with what you get.
Yeah. Cookie says we don't know her, guys. Well, hey, there you go. You know, everything coming to light here on Vtuber Talk. I asked the hard-hitting questions here.
My mom never let me have like moon shoes, fushigi balls, like nothing from infomercials, not even the space bag storage packs, okay? So as a kid, I had to work with what I had, okay, guys?
Kick-Ass says, remember being 7, 8 and triggering their mom to buy them Resident Evil 4.
Oh, God.
I mean, that's your own fault if you're getting into Resident Evil 4 at that age.
Yeah, that's... You reap what you sow when it comes to that. Koki, shut up. I'm not gonna do that.
At least that's what she says on air.
Yeah, you have to join the Discord to see the secret torture channel that I have, where I add one person at a time and we have a discussion. We have a discussion. Nothing bad happens in Beri Sing Say.
I appreciate that reference.
Oh yeah, sand. Yeah, I used to eat sand as a kid, so what?
I mean, I would usually get a mouthful of sand at the beach one way or the other getting wiped out by a wave. I don't think I've ever voluntarily eaten sand.
Yeah, you know when you go to the beach, like eat sand, drink the water there.
I mean, like, you try it once and then you usually like, nope, this is not a good time. Actually, then again, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, because like, you drink it once, you say, no, this isn't good, and then you try ways to, like, how can I make it better? I want to try and unlock the secrets of the ocean water. Yeah, and it still doesn't work.
You pick up a abandoned Starbucks cup on the beach, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna use this to, like, scoop up some water or to make sandcastles, you know? Things like that.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm remembering times at the beach.
Yes, we are all happy at Beri Corporation.
Yep. It's in your Twitter bio. Invest in Beri Coin.
Not a joke.
Not a joke. Not a scam.
Not a scam. Not a scam. Trust. Beri Coin can only go up.
They denied me my Discord kitten, but gets a torture channel. I see how it is. Yep. hey, if you want your Discord kitten, that's why you make your own server.
Yeah, come on now. Oh man. Everyone you know how there was a Discord outage like a month ago around?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was actually playing MapleStory at the time, because, you know, I like MapleStory. But I remember when that happened, everyone started panicking, and a bunch of people were using like the server-wide message items to be like, my Discord kittens need me.
And you mentioned MapleStory, that so you still play it actively in that case, or perhaps not actively, but that you've played it recently.
I play it like I played it as a kid until my sister got the idea that MapleStory gave you viruses. Honestly, MapleStory always, like, even today, when you close MapleStory or log out of it, it always opens like a new window. It used to be linking you to the page again, but now it's like, oh, how was your experience? So some people might look at that as like some kind of virus or like malware, right? But yeah, I played it when I was a kid, and every now and then, like once every 2 years, I get an itching to play it again. So I play it for like a solid month, and then I stop.
I never played MapleStory, but I played a couple other sort of, browser-based MMOs. I played RuneScape way back in the day. I don't know if Neopets counts as like a browser MMO, but I remember Neopets. That was just a good flash game site, honestly, that, I never actually got really into the whole pet part of it, that I never paid any money for any of the special stuff. But it was fun just, doing the different games every day, trying to get your high score and cashing in your Neo points, different freebies that they had.
Yeah, Neopets was also a really big one that my sister and I played growing up. Because well, okay, so she had made my account for me, and she made it while I was like underage, wink wink. Like, don't tell
Yes,
it
must be,
Neopets
you know,
now.
like 13 years old to sign up or whatever.
Yeah, I think she made it when I was like 10 or something.
Gasp.
And-
Oh man.
Oh my god, arrest me. This is the only crime you'll pin on me. But yeah, I remember playing a lot of Key Quest with her.
Ooh, I never played Key Quest.
Yeah, it was kind of a later edition, I think. But yeah, it was like a board game that you could play online.
Oh, nice. So,
but yeah.
What about MapleStory keeps you coming back though?
I just think it's cute, honestly, and like the gameplay is really flashy. The art style is really cute.
Yeah, the avatars are very cute.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to revisit a game. I remember, I still. Like, I don't know why, but games I played when I was younger have like a chokehold on me, especially like MMOs that are still up and running. Like every now and then I get the same urge with Wizard 101 and Toontown. Yeah.
I never played any of those, but one of my past guests, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Neat. That
yes, I had a Toontown collab with her.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say that she plays Toontown a fair bit and has been on some really, really crazy customized servers. So good, yeah, you already know her, so you know what I'm talking about there.
yeah. Honestly, none of those games I would recommend if you didn't play them when you were younger and have like nostalgia lens to look at them.
They're absolutely nostalgia games at this point.
Yeah.
They are not quality games. These are not, you know, gems that.
These are not hidden gems. They are bullshit. They are lots of time sinks, lots of effort. If you're not into it, don't. Just listen. Sometimes you gotta look trash in the eye and call it trash.
Everyone has the trashy things they like, and it's just, you know, whether it be, you know, like a particular show or a game, that everyone has their thing, and especially when it's with nostalgia. That nostalgia is a very, very powerful thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, goodness knows there's a lot of different games and shows that I'll revisit of just that you remember because they're positive memories, and that there's a reason that nostalgia is an entire market. It's what people make TV shows and movies and games for, that everyone has their thing.
Alright, I never said my tastes were good, okay? I'll admit it.
No, actually, I will say that one game that has a lot of nostalgia for me is Sonic Adventure 2. And you mentioned to me that you're a big fan of Sonic games. I'm not sure if that particular one is on your list, but
I have never played it when I was younger. I played it on stream. I think the Sonic Adventure games, for me, they were lots of fun, but from a technical and modern standpoint, those video games have been completely eviscerated by the passage of time.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure 1 in particular
However,
is not
is fun.
good.
Yeah,
Sonic Adventure
fun,
1
though.
is particularly bad. Just the controls there and the finickiness, for lack of a better term, on some of those bosses is not good. That Sonic Adventure 2, I think, tightens a lot of stuff up. I'm not going to call it a masterpiece, but I think Sonic Adventure 2... Yeah, and I think Sonic Adventure 2 is aged relatively well, but I say relatively well.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're fun games. Like, I think a lot of games I play, they're not necessarily like objective masterpieces, right? Yeah. But I still like have a fun time with them. And if you have a fun time with them, what more can you expect from video games, you know?
Yeah,
that's all you need.
Do you have any favorites in the Sonic series?
I had a lot of fun with, I think Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 I had a lot of fun with, actually. I remember, if you look through the VODs, it might be a different story, but from what I remember, I really enjoyed them. I really liked Sonic Mania as well. And to an extent, I really had fun with Sonic's Forces, too. My ugly the Abomination being on screen all the time.
I never played Sonic Forces.
Mm-hmm.
Should I? Did I?
It's just 4 hours long, like max.
Okay.
It is very, very short. But it's pretty fun, I think. I liked it. Well, I didn't like a lot of the stages, but the stages that were pretty good were pretty good. They're short though. The only thing is that game is like very, very short.
We'll have to look it up on Steam, see if that's one that's, you know, if it's $10 or something, maybe I would.
Oh yeah, do not buy it on full price.
No.
It is not worth that much of a price tag.
Did you see the Sonic the Hedgehog movies?
Oh, I have not actually. I am not a movie person.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right, you mentioned that, yeah. If you ever are in the mood for a feature-length film, I actually thought the Sonic movies were a lot of fun. But, you know, if you're not a movie person, you're not a movie person.
Yeah, I mean, if my friends, like, drag me out, I'll go. Or if it's an anime movie, I'll go. But usually, I don't know. I don't know what it is about movie theaters, you know? I guess it's just the time commitment. And, like, the fact that if you go to a movie theaters, you always feel, like, dirty afterwards. And you're like, oh, man, I want to go home and immediately shower.
You might not be going to good movie theaters, Barry.
Yeah, maybe that might be a local issue and not just like a much to think about.
Like, thinking back, there were a couple of theaters when I was growing up that weren't that nice, but nowadays the ones by me are pretty good, like very clean. But I know there are, you know, the sort of dive theaters, as it were.
Yeah, you got those fancy movie theaters with the reclining seats and stuff.
Yes, I'm fortunate that
Yes,
the one near me does have all the fancy stuff.
Yeah, maybe if Sonic movie comes out on a streaming platform that I have, I'll watch it. But probably
I assume it'll be on Paramount Plus because it was a Paramount movie, so.
Oh, god damn,
Maybe
there's
do
so many
like
now.
yeah, there's a lot. I would say just, you know, maybe do I'm sure they have like a 1-week free trial or something. Just, you know, make a burner email and just do the one. There you go.
Yeah, there's
night.
a lot. There's a third one coming out. You're messing with me. You're pulling
Yes,
my
they
antenna.
absolutely set up a third movie at the end of the second
Oh,
one.
really?
Yes.
I hope Shadow's voice actor isn't like a celebrity voice actor. I really dislike that. This might be a bit of a hot take, but I really hate celebrities voicing video game characters
It's like, I have sort
or
of
characters.
I have sort of mixed feelings because I very much agree that if there's an established voice actor that they have in the game, that all things equal, yeah, I'd want it to just be the one in the game. But, you know, then you have the stuff with Mario, who's, you know, yes, Charles Martinet has been the voice of Mario, but Mario has never had a conversation.
Yeah, I think I just have a general distaste for, like, the there's, like, a term for this, like, the celebrity I don't know. There's like a common phenomena in, like,
yeah, that you
video
have the
game
star
movies.
power names being used to bring people in the door and just Chris Pratt was not my first choice for Mario, I can assure you. That said, I think Jack Black as Bowser, that has my interest.
Yeah, like, I feel like a lot of them, I guess this is just a general thing with Hollywood where they'll cast, like, a well-known name over someone who might actually genuinely fit the role.
Yeah. If you could cast anyone as Shadow, who would you cast?
I honestly, I mean, for that though, they're gonna have like the like a CGI Shadow, right? I'd rather them just get the regular voice actor. I want to hear like the person who voiced Sonic 06 Shadow on like the movie theaters, you know? I think that'd be so nice. Actors, celebrities, and so special VAs. Yes, exactly. I think if you look it up, like, there's actually some quotes by what's his name, the SpongeBob voice actor. He's like a really accomplished voice.
Oh,
What's his name?
Tom
Is it
Kenny?
Tom? Yeah. Like, he actually spoke about it, I believe, where he talks about how, you know, production studios are choosing celebrity names over established voice actors when
Yeah.
there are so many like iconic voice actors even.
Yeah, unfortunately, like
Mhm.
Tom Kenny obviously got to continue to do SpongeBob's voice when there were films, and I think part of that is that if you have a non-gaming property that, you know, if it's a TV show, if it's something that is already a non-interactive medium, that it's much more likely to just have that direct translation of, if you get a movie, that you're gonna cast the same folks because you're already doing dubbing and recording the same way, whereas it's a bit different for video games in particular.
I mean, I think there's also like this thing where if you play a video game and it gets translated into a movie, you know, when you're playing a video game where you play as a certain character, if you see like someone's face like Chris Pratt on that character, are you really gonna relate to Chris Pratt? Are you like, I'd rather them cast like somebody who's not well known so you could better project
Well, at the very
yourself.
least, you know you won't have to worry about seeing Chris Pratt's face. It is an animated film, so it won't be that bad. But at the same time, Chris Pratt's voice is just so recognizable that it's going to be hard to watch that and not hear, you know, Star-Lord.
Yeah, and also like just like live action, like they had like Silent Hill live action remakes and or live action movies and stuff like that. Like I've never watched them, and I know the writing itself is bad, but I wonder like if you know, like I'm not actually sure, but like didn't they cast like one of the Spider-Man people, Tom Holland, as like an Uncharted
that was
movie?
yeah, an Uncharted, yeah.
Yeah,
That was also different because it was like a prequel type of thing, so it wasn't current day. Nathan, it was you know, him as a young man, a teenager type thing. So
I see.
At the very least, it was already going to be different. So
yeah, maybe
the normal voice actor obviously could not have done it because
yeah, I think he had a cameo in it too, but maybe it's just me unable to separate roles from the actor sometimes.
Yeah, and that's totally reasonable that it happens. That, you know, obviously when you hear a voice attached to a character for so long, you're going to develop that association. And that's very much by design, that people hope, casting directors hope that you will associate that name and that voice, because that's strong characterization. That means that they've succeeded. And that means that it makes it all the more difficult when they want to try and do something different, that they have to actively work against everything they have spent however much time establishing.
Yeah, I guess like a major disclaimer is like, I don't watch movies, guys. At the end of the day, I don't watch movies. Do you guys know? Okay, I guess I didn't tell you guys this, but I am just a bug. If I go into a movie theater, do you know how loud everything is? I think I might implode from the sheer volume of everything in a movie theater. You know? Just like it's like that scene in Shrek where Snow White is like singing to a bird. Or Fiona is singing to a bird, and she just sings so high that the bird just implodes. That's me at a movie theater.
But you do watch anime, and
yes.
I guess going back to some of the things we were talking about earlier, do you watch Fate? And I know that's a whole big spiraling question there.
Yeah, so I've never really watched the original Fate stuff, but I watched the FGO, I watched the Fate anime and the movies. So I think I'm probably not gonna watch Fate, the original stuff, anytime soon because my eardrums are still recovering from Enuma Elish. Because they bass boosted the shit out of that in the Fate anime. So thank you, very cool.
Yeah, I have not delved into that particular universe. I know it is prolific in its absurdity.
Oh yeah, it is
what
definitely.
order do you watch Fate in is a classic question. I've seen the videos on that because I find it fascinating. I think it's hilarious of just how a franchise ends up that tangled in itself.
Yeah, I think there's just like a intimidation factor that comes with it. Like even older, like just older series just have that. Like I think Toho also gives me that vibes where I'm just like Toho seems cool, but there's just so much, you know?
Yeah, and half of it's fan made of just they have so much stuff, whether it be, you know, like the web animation. It's not simply, okay, you have all these different officially released series that you can find on Crunchyroll or whatever. And Toho ends up being like YouTube videos, and there's so many different ones that you can't tell, all right, which ones are just really well-made fan YouTube videos and which are the official ones, and that's its own thing that I also have not gotten into.
Yeah.
I know, like, bits and pieces that Cyrano's Perfect Math Class is still a bop after all these years. But no, I've not actually... I've seen, like, one of the animations of it, but have not, you know, really done a deep dive on that particular franchise either.
Oh yeah, Monogatari is one of them too. The big spiraling.
Yeah, at the very least, that's one that I feel like is logical enough to just... I've only seen like 3 of the Monogatari series, but watching it, I feel like that's one that you can just consume in release order, and that's a simple enough thing to say.
But the series is also eccentric.
Yes,
let's say.
That's one that I don't think they can ever actually dub that series, just because so many bits of that series are wordplay, and it's Japanese wordplay that it would be one of the most challenging localization and translation projects in all of anime, because just trying to think of English equivalents for all these rhyming schemes and just, you know, the wordplay that they use would be so complex. I don't know if it would be possible, and that's part of the fun. And I find it honestly impressive that the translators are already able to make it work, and that you can, at least when you are reading the subtitles, that you can hear the rhyming and, you know, the repetitive noises in the words, and it's like, oh, okay, I see I hear what's going on here. But actually getting it into English.
Kingdom Hearts, and there's just so much media that, you know, it's either intimidating, there's cultural or language barriers that you can't understand all of it fully.
Yeah. Also, Kingdom Hearts, I don't know if, like, I wonder if Disney would ever allow that to be made into a series of just I guess they probably would, since they've already, you know, cleared the rights for the games, but just...
I mean, there's a manga for it, but I don't know if an anime is ever gonna happen.
Yeah, and an anime is its own monster at that point. And just, I think part of the charm of Kingdom Hearts, and I say this as someone who's only played the first 2 games, hasn't played any of the side games, that part of it is really exploring the worlds, that I don't know if speeding through the cutscenes is going to be as satisfying. Maybe it is. I could be wrong. But you'd have to do a lot of compression of content to make it...
Yeah.
And that's the problem, I think, in general of games. It just, you know, games are going to be longer than movies. That's just how they are. The games, even a short game, quote unquote, is going to be probably 10 hours.
Yeah, you'd have to be a very talented writer to condense that satisfyingly.
Are there any games that you say, I know it'd be a challenge, but I would love to see someone try this, or I think that this game has the ability to be adapted, that just the vital parts are something that could be compressed into, even if not one, maybe into 3 movies, and that you could do it in a satisfactory way?
I mean, I think for a lot of games, well, here's the thing, right?
Actually, and also, I'll shift the question.
Yes.
Are there any games that you think would be shiftable into a satisfying 12 to 13 episode anime instead, since you don't watch movies as much, that I'll shift this into an anime, that like a 1-season anime?
I think if anything, well, so here's the thing. I'm not that well versed in like story based games, right? Because I do play a lot of roguelikes. And I think for roguelikes, if I were to see a roguelike in an animation or in like a movie form, right? I think it would work best as like an anthology series, right?
Ooh, that's
something
an
like
interesting thought.
yeah, something like Black Mirror or whatever, you know.
Yeah, okay.
But
And just sort of
as
each episode would be a different
Mhm.
iteration on
Mhm.
that, of just, different strategies, and that you could create characters around them.
Yeah, and I think like fundamentally it's going to be hard to translate any video game into a movie, just because when you're playing a video game, you're immersed into that game, right? Like you
Absolutely.
control the character, and seeing that character not be controlled by you and act on their own, like
different.
yeah, it's a challenge. Like even like characters who used to be silent and then got voices or personalities, like usually they're hit or miss as well. So I don't know, or I don't know if there is a possible way to successfully translate it. You'd have to be a damn good writer and understand the source material.
No, you have
Yeah.
a point there. But also now I'm sort of thinking, like, the idea of an anthology series is very interesting, because I very much enjoy anthology series. That it's not a very common narrative mechanic, but I always enjoy seeing them because it's so uncommon.
Yeah, like it's like a snack, you know?
Yeah.
Like you just have one episode and everything wraps up or ends up going badly, but like you just have one thing and you get to see the universe expanded a little bit and just go on for a ride for just a short amount of time. Yeah.
Now I'm just imagining, like, all right, what would a Vampire Survivors
Yeah,
series
things
look like?
like
And I guess
that.
it would just be, that every episode inevitably ends with them being killed either by the Hordes or by the Grim Reaper or
Yeah.
something. Maybe at the end of the season you have them defeating the Grim Reaper, but seeing each of their different stories of, they have their starting weapons, and you can build out characters from that, and just how that would all go. It's an interesting thought, and I don't know of a way that you could really make a satisfying show like that other than an anthology series. So that's actually a very creative solution on your part, Barry.
Yeah, I'm taking that patent to the patent office right now.
Yep, there you go. Barry said it first. We have the proof right here, July 8th. Yep.
It's original idea. Please do not steal. I got my eye on you. I'm pulling up whoever is in chat right now. If I see you ever fucking make an anthology series on a video game, I will personally sue you.
I think someone, I don't remember who it was, at some point in chat mentioned fanfic.
I don't know her. I don't know her. Well, okay, so here's the thing. I am a year-old bug. And I grew up in the 2010s, whatever. When fan bases have finally gotten, it's the internet boom. There's Twitter, there's Tumblr, there's there's Facebook, there's a bunch of social media sites where you can actually find people like-minded. It was only a matter of time, okay, before I got by the fanfic bug. Yeah, I mean, I used to write fan fiction when I was like in middle school, and they weren't NSFW or anything because I was in middle school. They were just you know, alternative universes. But yeah, I'm leave me alone.
I feel like even if not everyone wrote it down, typed it out, I feel like everyone has their fanfics. It's called headcanon. It's when you something you're just like, oh, what if the characters did this or that, or like, I wish I could, self-insert fantasies. That it's
you're telling me you never thought or wrote.
If you like, never daydreamed about being if you never even daydreamed about being in your favorite TV series as a kid, you're lying.
Yeah, like being in a superhero show or being in your favorite anime, Naruto, you know, stuff like that.
And that's fanfic, and it just so happens that some people decide to write it up and publish it. Also, Flamio Flamingo and Android Original, thank you for the follows. I missed that Flamio Flamingo one a while back. Yeah, that, goodness knows that I, imagine myself in my favorite shows when I was younger, that I've never typed them up, but it's the type of thing that, people typing up fanfic, that's, it's certainly a good educational thing, that you're learning to write, that you're actually going out of your way, that's what every English teacher ever dreams of. Students voluntarily writing stories. That's a good thing. And yeah, you might look back on some of the stuff nowadays and it might be cringe, but again, like we said, if everyone is cringe when they're young, and it's the type of thing of you need to be okay with your past cringe. As long
cringe
as you
is
recognize,
dead now.
that as long as you recognize, okay, I have learned from my cringe, I have grown from my past cringe, that's what matters at the end of the day. Yeah.
I've hated self-insert stuff because since I was a kid, I would never even name RPG characters after yourself. Okay, Raika, here's the thing. Go open up a game right now, an RPG game, and name a character after yourself and love yourself. That's my assignment for you. I better see some fucking proof by the end of today. You have, what is it? You have 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours. Go.
Have you guys seen Urusei Yatsura? I was never a Urusei Yatsura person. I was a Ranma and Inuyasha kid.
Yeah, that I wasn't into that one either, but I am aware that there is a remake happening, so I'm excited for the fans of the series at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, I probably will check it out just because it's a classic.
Yeah, that if anything, I'm going to watch it now because I didn't watch it earlier and that I want to have that sort of historical context. I suppose because it is something that has endured for so long.
Sometimes remakes are fucking bangers, bro. Did you ever see the Fruit Baskets remake blow up? Holy fuck.
So I never watched the original. My little sister did that. That was one of the first anime that she ever got into. But I did seek out the remake, and it was just gorgeous. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, like I tried forcing myself to watch it when I was younger because, like, my anime friends back then, or my one anime friend really liked Fruits Basket. So I would always, like, after school, I would always try to fucking force myself to watch it. Like, okay, Barry, you can do 1 episode today. You can do 2 episodes today. You can do 3 episodes today, right? And I would write down where I left off, but I would always fall asleep, or I would always be like, oh my god, I cannot look at these characters.
Yeah, they're just seeing how far animation and character design has come is staggering.
Hello, Bunny Rena. Hello. Yes, Inuyasha on Adult Swim. Let's go.
If you could have any anime remade that hasn't already had a remake, which one would you want to see remade? or perhaps if not remade, then like rebooted and given that sort of glow up treatment?
I honestly, so when I was in middle school, high school, I used to really be into a Vocaloid series called Kagero Project. And that got an anime around when I was in high school, and holy fuck, it was so bad. As a fan, as like a really, really big fan of the original series, seeing that anime like actually made me upset.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was just like animation was wonky. I didn't like how the main art style got translated into anime. I didn't like the director was the main songwriter, and he is a very good songwriter. He is not a good writer. Or director. And yeah, there was just like a lot of issues with the movie with the series that I really disliked. And also it was like years of like song stories crammed into a 12 episode series and trying to like wrap it up, even though the song series had not even concluded yet. So yeah, I would really like, I think a movie reboot is coming out soon, but I would really like a better reboot of the anime series, because it is a nice, I really like that. That was one of the series that like got me connected to two of my close friends then.
Aww.
Yeah, so I just like to see some justice, you know? It was so bad though. I remember I was on my way to an anime con when I was in high school, and I would watch the episodes as soon as they came out, and I remember watching it in the car on the way there, and it opened up with a 3D music like video-esque thing. And this series was not 3D at any point before. And it was really bad.
No.
A writer isn't a painter. Yeah, very wonky.
I think for me, if I could have any show remade, the one I usually go to is Soul Eater. Soul Eater very much suffered from, as many shows in the early and mid 2000s did, that it caught up with its manga. And so the anime just went off and did its own thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a terrible ending, but the manga kept going, and that I've never even finished the Soul Eater manga, but it's the type of thing that I could tell when they caught up to the manga, because just the writing quality dipped a little bit, and it was still okay. It wasn't a bad series, but I'd love to see the actual conclusion.
Yeah.
And that there is precedent. Studio Bones did a little thing called Full Metal Alchemist, and then they did Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
They also are finally continuing Bleach.
Yes.
Soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that's such a like you would either get fillers to hell, or a recap episode back then. But now, since every recent anime is in like 24 or 12 episode chunks, you won't really get that.
Yeah, that you still have some of the run-ons that, you have Dragon Ball Z, and that you have One Piece, and you have a couple others, but the age of the run-on shonen, at least in the West, has definitely declined, because for the longest time that's all that we would really get, because what does the network want to license? They want something that they can have for years and years and years, and they want only what is the most successful, because this is before streaming, so they're only going to license and dub what is the safest bet, the most surefire hit. And what is that going to be? Well, it's going to be the really popular, very broadly appealing shonen shows. And that certainly makes sense for, where the market was at the point. That's why you had sort of that quote unquote golden era of shonen with the Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z, and all those. And, even now we still have them, and it's sort of funny to see them with their latest incarnations that, Yu-Gi-Oh is on now its 9th series, by the way. Rest in peace, Kazuki Takahashi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very sad. Dragon Ball is now on, Dragon Ball Super. Naruto now has Boruto. We're seeing the resurgence of Bleach. One Piece is just continuing because One Piece will be going forever.
I think the manga is on its last arc, no?
Yes, they've said it's on the last arc, but the thing is, an arc in One Piece can mean a long time.
Okay, yes, fair. But yeah, it's also interesting to see how things have evolved, right? Like just in terms of storytelling as well. Like I'm not gonna say that like things like shonen anime right now is better than shonen anime, or like I think Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, or I've heard some stuff about Bleach, but Naruto and One Piece, they're still very good stories, and I think we should put respect where respect is due.
Oh, for
right?
sure, yeah. No, don't get me wrong, that these things are cultural icons for a reason, and just that I do not want to watch them because they're so long. I know I'm missing out, but it's like I just personally am the type that would rather watch, a dozen or 50 of the 12 or 24 episode shows than 1,000 episodes of One Piece. But I know people swear by One Piece. I know it means so much to so many people because it is so good that no disrespect whatsoever, and that that's why they remain. That's why Boruto became a thing. That's why they're bringing Bleach back, because it's good and because people love it.
Yeah, I mean, there are things that stand up to time. What is it, the saying?
Standing the test of time.
Yeah, standing the test of time. But I really do think it's interesting that I feel like storytelling as a general, in general, has gotten so much better in recent years. I think. I mean, I'm just gonna talk about Jujutsu Kaisen all the time, but I really just think the storytelling in recent shonen, recent anime has been so good. Well, obviously they're trash every season, but
oh yeah,
I think the market has gotten so competitive that unless you have that edge, you're not gonna do well.
Yeah, I think that you're really hitting the nail on the head there. That just the fact that anime and manga has become so mainstream, it means that there are that many more mangaka and story writers vying for these spots and vying for attention, and that the ones that rise to the top and the ones that get the attention are the ones that are better. So just by sheer competition, I think that you are correct that the quality of storytelling of what we get actually is better because people are forcing each other to get better, and that I hold up My Hero Academia as one of the best shonen ever. I love My Hero. It's the thing about My Hero for me is that it did not reinvent the wheel. It did not invent the wheel.
Oh, definitely.
It is full of tropes. It's full of
and it owns it.
yeah, but it is so well refined in its tropes that it knows the tropes, and it is some of the best iterations and takes on the tropes that I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that it should be everyone's favorite and that it's the best ever. It's one of my favorites ever, certainly. Obviously, given its success, it's safe to say that I'm not alone. But it's the type of thing that you don't even need to be reinventing the wheel. It's just, can you find your take on it? Can you do compelling storytelling in your own way, even if it's not necessarily something that, superheroes certainly have been done before, shonen's been done before, a battle school's been done before. Nothing is new anymore because there's too many stories. There's been too many stories that you're never gonna get anything that has never ever been done in some way. And it's just, what's your take on it? What's your iteration of it? And I think they've done very well. But Jujutsu Kaisen has been amazing. I almost said Soul Eater again. Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah, like Demon Slayer is another
Demon
one.
Slayer.
Yeah, like Demon Slayer is also the same, where like it doesn't do anything new, but the way it executes it, especially with a lot of help from Ufotable, I think is like just stunning, right? That's why it's like a cultural phenomenon. Like if you go to anywhere like anime related, you're gonna see someone cosplaying as Demon Slayer, like yeah, it's like Nezuko, Tanjiro, someone is gonna cosplay.
Is operating on a different plane of existence in terms of animation quality. That just the most recent season, it felt like it was a movie, just every single episode. And it's the type of thing, I just hope that the animators there are being treated humanely, because you always hear horror stories about artists in the anime industry, and it's like, this is really good. Gosh, I hope that people aren't suffering for this.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But yeah, things like that. I think the thing I like, I mean, I've heard people say that they don't like Boku no Hero because they think it's boring, which is fair. But the thing I like about Boku no Hero is the fact that it's like, it really is like second gen shonen, right? Because in the past, like, you would have had like Hero Society just starting up, and all these heroes that are iconic in the Boku no Hero universe then or now, like rising up to be the heroes that they will become. But now you actually get like the second generational effect where, you know, there's already an established society, there's already established rules, and there's already established icons, and it's just them building, or it's the second generation that is like now living up to that, which I think is like kind of reminiscent of the industry now, you know. I just really like that. I also like the fact that it's a blend of comic and manga, which is, you know, you wouldn't really find that in older shonen.
That is
just because of the, like, everything is so international now.
Yeah, and it's sort of interesting that, you know, obviously superheroes are bigger than ever, that Marvel is one of the biggest multiverses, now literally, in the world in terms of media. And
yeah, I mean, they earn so much goddamn money. What the fuck are they doing with that?
It's kind of absurd. But
yeah, it's kind of absurd.
But Hero Academia was in the right place at the right time, that it was there, you know, in the early phases of Marvel. So I think it may have been buoyed a little bit by that of, all right, superheroes are sort of in vogue anyways, but also the fact that it's just very high quality. You have so many different characters in that. Obviously you have your main characters, but that they do a pretty good job. And I think it's something that Shonen in general does very well, that they have such large casts, and that even if not everyone's the main character, that they give just enough time to all of these, you know, secondary and tertiary characters,
you like,
that you can find someone that you like. Exactly.
Except for Mineta. If you like Mineta, you're kind of weird.
Mineta is...
I want to punt that little bitch so hard.
Mineta is the singular part of that series that I wish did not exist.
Oh yeah. Speaking of fan fiction, though, not that I read fan fiction. Who would read fan fiction? But fun factoid. There's actually a really popular tag in the Boku no Hero Academia space, where it's a tag called Alternate Universe. Mineta Minoru does not exist.
Oh
and it's one of the like,
that's
most
so beautiful.
popular. It's one of the most popular tags used.
It's incredible. I love it. This is why fan fiction exists, folks. This is what it's for, to correct these mistakes.
Let's send that little shit to the moon. Yeah.
I appreciate that so much. I'm so happy to hear that. Like, I'm not exactly surprised, because I feel like there's going to be a tag for everything, but I'm happy to hear that it is an actively popular tag.
Yeah, really made a whole. It's one of the most popular tags.
Well, hey, it's an easy thing to add to a story. We're just not going to use this minor character. It's not like he's ever done anything useful anyway.
I don't know. I just thought that was so funny.
Solidarity and character hatred.
Really uniting the world.
There's the one thing that Mineta has done to improve society.
Oh man. Oh, isekai everywhere. I will never forgive.
Gosh.
That is a
so
huge
much,
thing.
and like, I don't mind isekai as a concept. That I think there is some logic to why isekai is so popular as a viewer, but also as a writer. That as a viewer, isekai allows a writer to put a character who lives in our world in whatever world they want. That it creates an inherent level of relatability of, okay, I know I can just sort of infer that whatever isekai protagonist it is, that I'm going to have the same basic understanding of the world as a protagonist, and that it very much, it easily enables a lot of exposition and explanation, especially in the opening episodes of why are we explaining the rules of the world? Well, because it's not just that the viewer doesn't know it and we have to find a way to shoehorn it in, but, well, the main character doesn't know it, so of course we have to. And if you're able to identify with the main character in terms of how would you react if you were thrown into this other world, that it's relatable, and I can get that, but at a certain point, I can only take so much generic fantasy isekai that, at least, there have been some very creative isekais over the years, and I respect the ones that are the more absurd ones that are taking risks. But I will absolutely agree that it's just a pinch overdone.
Yeah, there's only so much like fantasy, overpowered, hot animal-esque girl follows you around isekai that I can take, right? There are definitely gems, and I think it lends a lot to like character world building, stuff like that. But I am so tired. I am so tired.
Let me bring it up. What is it that it's called? That there's literally one this season called. It is the most generic thing I've ever seen. Ah, yes, here it is. Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. That is a real anime airing this season. Come on.
That could just be...
You can do better than that.
Yeah, it's also like the long-ass names, too, where they describe everything.
The light novel titles.
Oh, man. Interesting how isekai changed. It used to be getting back to the real world, but now it's what characters want to stay. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It used to be, oh, man, I'm in this other world. I need to get back home somewhere. And I'd say in 90% of isekai nowadays, or not more, we say, oh, well, we're in this world now. Just gonna accept that. Do you want to try and figure out a way back? Why?
Yeah. It's a zombie genre. Oh, God. Yeah, yeah, definitely. What is it? What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh well. Yeah, but definitely overused. But I think it's definitely calmed down. It used to be super bad, or like worse.
If you'd asked me 2 seasons ago, I would have said yes, it was calming down. But this season in particular, there's a bunch of them. It's like, oh no,
I have not seen this season.
I thought we were done with this, and now I'm getting worried again.
Too much isekai get an anime adaptation. Yeah, it might be. Oh, it's the self-insert fantasy, right?
Yeah.
It was so funny because I was actually talking to Ren, my friend, and Bug Sister about it, and she talked about how she bought a Sword Art Online game on Steam or something, like one of the games on Steam, and she said like in that game you play as your character is in the SAO world, and he's just so good at video games that he becomes friends with Kirito. And it's just like a self-insert fantasy in a self-insert It's like a fucking Ouroboros, bro.
Oh, jeez. That's some Inception level stuff right there.
Oh, man. Yeah, isekai protagonists are all shut-in nerds. Why can't I be an isekai protagonist? I bet I'd be a better one than them.
I'm sitting here waiting. I was thinking about this just this week. I was like, give it 3 years. I want an isekai where it's not just one character, it's every character, you know, one of those where a whole bunch of people are brought into this other world. I want an isekai where a whole bunch of VTubers are just brought into the virtual world and that they are now inhabiting their minds.
I am so sure there is one like that sometime.
If we don't get one of those in the next 3 to 5 years, I would be shocked. I feel like it's inevitable.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Seriously, just like it'd be so good. It's so simple. It's literally just, you know, okay, boom. So we have this fantasy world or this digital world, whatever that, you know, Sword Art Online type of thing. And I suppose Sword Art Online is probably honestly the closest analogy of, you know, you are now inhabiting your character, but that, you know, it's not a fantasy battle game, that it's more of just, okay, let's see what happens to society when people are now these very different avatars, and sort of explore, all right, do certain things of lore actually become real, and, you know, the silly things that could happen as a result of that.
Yeah, you can actually see some of that in, like, I don't know if you watch it, but the Hololive alternative trailers where they have, like, a legit anime opening.
Yeah.
I think those are so cool, because, like, you get to see, like, like, Ina, an eldritch monster, like, Gura, a shark, you have Aki, the elf,
and then you just have Ame walking around with her magnifying glass being like, I'm just human here.
You know, just vibing. You have the ID girls just vibing, just drawing some paint on the side, on the walls. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes, because they've been very sort of guarded with what exactly Hololive Alternative is. That, you know, we've had these animated trailers, but it's not quite clear. They've said, you know, it is a multimedia project.
Yeah.
And it's not clear if that is going to be the umbrella term for just every piece of Hololive media that isn't streaming, or if they're looking into making a full-on anime. Like, I'm sure they can do whatever they want to do. That, you know, it's certainly a successful enough company, and like, I hope we get a Hololive documentary. That I want to see a documentary about just Yago. And
yeah, I'm sure you could make one,
because, you know, the guy started off as a game designer. That
Hololive was not really focused on VTubers. They were just making 3D technology.
Yeah, it was a software company that they made a VR ping pong game and a couple other things, and that they made the VTuber technology, that their proprietary platform was made just, you know, like to do an avatar, and that it was an idea sort of for either game or promotional purposes, and that they decided to then have one person use that technology in streaming as a way to promote the technology as a whole. And that was Tokunosora, and then it just took off from there. And just, you know, I'm so curious. Like I said, I'm a giant business nerd, of, you know, getting into then Gen 1, Gen 2, moving into Indonesia, into English, and goodness knows, of all people, that Motoaki Tanigo, rewind the clock 10 years, I doubt he saw himself taking pictures. What was the most recent? It was like Sana's merchandise of, you know, taking pictures and putting his face in a large bread plushie for a VTuber who is supposed to be the embodiment of space.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how things have snowballed.
Yeah. Gosh, it's been a wild ride for all of us. And, you know, for him in particular, for Sora, just to sort of see everything, you know, explode around her has been. I hope we get to get those stories someday. I'm assuming it won't happen for a very long time.
Just one girl with the 13 Knights of the Round Table to one bug being on episode 69 of Vtuber Talk.
Yeah, yep, here we go.
Oh, man.
Outside of, so when it comes to shonen, you have mentioned Jujutsu Kaisen as one of your favorite. What about that series really just hooked you?
Well, I like the voice actors. But also the animation. The animation is really fucking nice. I'm gonna sell my soul to Mappa. And I just really, I don't know, every episode is just feels like a ride, you know? Like, they subvert tropes, like, it's not all just about the power of friendship. It's, like, sometimes characters do die, and, like, terribly. And sometimes, like, it's not enough to just make up your mind about something. And sometimes your beliefs are challenged, you know? And every person there is eye candy.
You're not wrong. It is a very pretty show. Just ground up animation, like you said. Mappa is very good at what they do, and just the character designs are recognizable. And I suppose it's a bit impressive because the school uniform ones are, you know, very generic, but that they manage to make the character either faces or hair or other aspects of them, even when they're in these pretty generic uniforms, very recognizable and iconic in their own way. And I also very much agree that I do like a show where nobody is safe. And all right, even if we know that the main character is safe, that if it's only the main character is safe and that you're gonna be all right, you know, even if the main character doesn't die, having the main character lose, that losing is always an option, and that, you know, character deaths of major characters can happen. That it's a big thing for me if a show can do that somewhere in their first 2 seasons of, say, all right, there are actually stakes here. It isn't always just the power of friendship. That I very much agree that it's something that I understand why, especially for children's shows, you're going to have that you're not going to want to traumatize these little kids by having a major character die on screen, that you don't do that to the kids. But nowadays I want something where I feel like there's stakes.
Yeah, I think that's also like, well, this is a side note, but speaking of voice actors, I really like how they got 2 pretty boy voice actors to voice the 2 main antagonists of Jujutsu Kaisen. But anyways, like 2 voice actors who are known to voice very pretty boys, like shoujo manga romantic interests, and they play these 2 fucked up individuals.
I didn't actually know that. That makes it super amusing to me.
Yeah, when I heard their voices, I was like, ha!
Have you ever seen Danganronpa?
Yes.
Apparently, the voice actor who plays Monokuma is also the Japanese voice of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, they're crazy, man. But yeah, but back to the death stuff. That's why I think I really appreciate JoJo as well. Because when deaths happen in JoJo, like, they just die. Like, they usually don't get, like, a word in, you know, and it's usually very sudden.
Yeah, there's no final tearful farewell.
Yeah,
that is abrupt. You have just been utterly beaten by someone unexpectedly, or that, you know.
Yeah, JoJo hits different.
And that there is always the chance of JoJo themselves dying, that it's sort of along the lines of Doctor Who, of, you know, even if you know, all right, there will always be another JoJo, there will always be the next Doctor, that this particular iteration, this character is not safe. And almost the looming threat of knowing, all right, sooner or later they will be off. It's not even an if, it's a when.
Yeah, I think that's I really like it kills me when I watch it, but I really respect JoJo for it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, not zero in a D&D campaign.
Oh, do you play D&D?
I used to play. I think I tried playing it a lot, but you know, it's just so hard to bring in or coordinate a time usually.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
I think a lot of them just fall apart.
Yeah, I only have one group that has really stood the test of time. That I have a Wednesday game that has somehow gone on for the better part of 5 years now. And that, like, we only take a week off, I'd say once every couple of months. But it's a short one that it's 2.5 hours on Wednesday nights. Not like, you know, we're going 6-7 hours or something, but
oh yeah, it's a healthy amount of time.
Yeah. But goodness knows, I have had many campaigns and groups that, you know, you meet for a month and then it sort of fizzles.
Yeah, it's tough.
So those are good ones. You mentioned that recently you're watching Spy Family. I'm watching that one as well. I absolutely adored that. It popped up and it had a lot of expectations. That it had. I know friends who have read the manga who have actually mentioned it to me several times over the past couple of years, and it came in with expectations and it lived up to them.
Yeah, it was definitely like a very well anticipated show. I think the funniest thing about Spy Family was like there was an interview with the creator of Spy Family, and they were like, oh, so like what are your inspirations? And the mangaka literally said, oh yeah, I just wanted to make a popular manga series, so I asked what's popular to my editor, and he told me, so I just made it. So he really was just
actually
like,
just
fuck,
formulate. They just said, all right, what's the formula to success? I'm gonna try and make a formula. Like,
yeah, because he was like, oh, like a lot of my previous manga didn't do that well, so I was
it's a
finally
business,
tired
and
of it.
yeah, like, hey, I respect them that they said, all right, let's look at what are the ingredients to success, and
let's just optimize.
and that they did it. That there are plenty of people who can do that type of analysis and say, what is popular, what are the ingredients to success, and still not make something that is wildly successful like Spy Family. So even if, you know, if anything, I respect them more for their thoroughness and their thoughtfulness, and then the fact that they were able to actually, you know, capitalize on it, that they were able to take this information, but actually they still had to have some level of creativity to actually write this story, that it's not just a puzzle piece where everything's going to click together that cleanly, that they, you know, sort of like a chef, you can put the same ingredients in front of 10 chefs and they're going to make 10 different dishes for you. And that they were able to take those ingredients and put them into something really great.
Yeah, I mean, it still takes talent, but I just think it's so fucking funny that he was just like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah, just and the fact that they are open about it and not just like, oh, you know, I had this idea, or even playing coy of, I don't know, it just came to me, and no, I tried to reverse engineer this thing, and I did it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a popular series, so I did.
Respect the hustle. And it has quickly become one of my favorite anime of the year, and I'm the type that I prefer to watch anime as opposed to read manga. I don't dislike manga, but for me, when I consume stories, big reveals, big moments.
Definitely.
That you only get to experience that surprise once. And for me, it's just so much more satisfying in motion with music, in color, and I totally understand that some folks are like, I can't be patient. I need to know what happens next, and I need to know now. And you know, I'm glad that the manga is available for them, but I'm the type that is able to be patient and say, I will wait however many months for the next season of the anime.
Yeah, like, I totally feel that. Like, sometimes, especially if, like, there's a big fight scene or something very action-packed or something just, like, even dramatic, like, you want to see that shit in, like, live, you know?
Yeah.
You wanna feel it. You want to see it in real time.
Yeah, because I know that season 2 has already been announced that it'll happen before the end of this year,
it is
and
so fast.
I'm excited. Because I don't know offhand how long the series is. I know it's still ongoing. I don't think it's too long, but from what I gather, we could be here for a couple of years. That even if it's not every season, but if we get 12 to 24 episodes per year, that it could go for a little while. So
I think well, I actually read it because I thought the anime was so good.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure with this upcoming season they'll probably catch up with the manga.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't realize that they were actually that close already.
Yeah, they're pretty close.
Oh no.
Oh
Well,
no.
So that's a different type of fear of, I guess, at the very least, that then they will, be caught up, and that they'll just wait to finish the anime. That as long as they don't do what they did and
Promise Neverland.
I was about to say Promise Neverland. Because the thing with that, though, is Promise Neverland ended, and they just sort of ignored it.
Yeah, they had all the steps to be good.
Yeah, it wasn't even a caught up type of thing in Soul Eater, and that they went and did their own thing. This was
I don't know what happened there.
You had the roadmap, and you decided to just chop things out and then do weird things. And to be fair, Cloverworks is attached to Spy Family, but they also have, I forget if it's Mappa or if it's someone else.
No, Cloverworks is an amazing studio. I don't know what happened though.
That feels like just an anomaly, frankly.
It was just weird. It's like all the planets aligned. It's all the planets were slanted.
Yeah. Oh, it's Wit Studio, and Wit's done some really great stuff. They did Vivi Fluoride Eyes song, which I know Nero was saying they really liked. They also did, why am I blanking on it? Ranking of Kings. I'm not sure if you saw that one, but that one was really good.
Yeah, I've only seen Vivi, but Vivi was a fucking banger.
What a ride. I think that Vivi was probably my favorite anime of 2021. Actually, no, sorry, it was my second favorite of 2021. My favorite was Odd Taxi.
Is Odd Taxi the one with the animals in it? Am I thinking?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it is the one with the animals, and I can't say much, but all I can say is that it is not Zootopia. It is very distinctly not Zootopia. That it's the best analogies I've heard for it is it's if Quentin Tarantino made an anime.
I see. Okay. Yeah, but Vivi was definitely like I did not expect it to be that good.
Yeah. And that I definitely felt that one nailed the landing of, especially when it comes to time travel. That it can go in so many ways, and you never know. All right, how satisfying is this ending going to be? And,
yeah, time travel is usually hit or miss.
But that one definitely hit.
Yeah. I mean, you got Dio fucking being a scientist in there. How's it not good?
That's right, it was Dio. Oh my gosh, like I need to get better at recognizing voice actors because you're making these connections, and that I've watched enough that at the very least I can sort of recognize, and I'm thinking back.
I mean,
that
yeah,
when you
Dio
say
is
it, that it makes the connection for me, but that I'm not able to pick these ones out in real time.
But Dio is just so recognizable. I think like as long as you hear like maybe like two voice, like if you get used to it, you'll definitely just pick him out. He has such a recognizable voice.
Yeah. Are there any series that have not been adapted into anime that you want to see adapted, and would be like if you could cast an adaptation with voice actors of your choosing? Are there any that you really hope to see?
I don't really read manga. The only manga I read is if like the anime was so good, I'm just like,
Yeah, like with Spy Family.
Yeah, with Spy Family. I guess right now though, the closest thing I have to that is like anticipating voice actors. I know Chainsaw Man is like a really like long-awaited adaptation that's coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw a list of leaked voice actors, which I hope is real because they had some fucking nice picks there. So many good manga don't get adaptations. I know, but I can't fucking read, Rika. Can you please be understanding? I can't fucking read, bitch. God damn.
Then how do you read the subtitles? Don't ask. Don't worry about it.
I just go with the mood, you know?
Yep. One thing that you mentioned you actually try and work into most of your streams, and I hadn't even realized it until you said it, but you know, every stream that I've tuned into, or at least most of them, that you do karaoke, that you really enjoy singing.
Oh yeah. I really like singing. When I would sing, I didn't really care whether or not I didn't really actively try to get better. I just kind of liked having fun with it. But recently I've been trying to get better, like actively better at it, because I think I do want to get better. But singing for me is just like something that takes off stress, you know? And I do like it. It's like hanging out with your friends, going to a karaoke room.
Yeah.
Singing the night away.
Is karaoke and singing in general something that you've always enjoyed, or was it something that you
Yeah,
sort of
pretty
warmed up
much.
to over time?
No, it was definitely like whenever I would try to sing near other people for a long time, I would just start crying because I had such intense stage fright. But gradually I you know, you can see by the streams too, like I've gotten more comfortable with people listening to me.
Absolutely. Were you a theater kid at all growing up?
No, I wasn't. Fortunately, they didn't get their hands on me.
Karaoke.
Yes.
How have I never seen that term before?
Karaoke, yes. Karaoke.
How have I not seen that term? It makes so much sense. It's so perfect.
Yeah, we just karaoke a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that, you know, even if it's something that you had to sort of work toward over time, that you are now comfortable doing that type of thing that day.
Yeah.
I'm someone that I was a theater kid. I was always comfortable singing on stage. I generally don't like singing solo as much unless like there's an occasion that I like. If it's solo karaoke, I can do that. That's totally fine. I'm not necessarily the type that's gonna, you know, start singing solo with no backing, just like, you know, in the middle of a room or in the middle of the street. But you know, karaoke with friends or just theater or what have you. That you know, random sing-alongs in the car. I'm always on board for that type of thing.
Yeah. I think being a theater kid too, I think is really good for these types of shows, right? Because you do need to, even if you're not like born as someone who's extroverted extroverted, right? Like being able to get a persona really helps, and I think theater really helps with that. Even though theater kids are disgusting. No, just kidding. I didn't mean that.
Theater kids are their own breed, that's for certain.
They are their own breed.
For better or worse, that theater kids are definitely, you know, their own type, and that I was even worse. I was not just a theater kid. I was a theater kid and a band kid.
Oh no!
I was that nerd.
Oh my god. Well, you're gonna tell me next that you were also part of debate club. The unholy trifecta.
Fortunately, I was never part of debate club. I think if there even was there was a debate club at my school. Yeah, didn't do that because, well, frankly, I was too busy with band and theater.
Yeah. Oh man.
What can I say? That I am very much a thoroughbred nerd. The interesting thing about me is neither of my parents, well, my mother was in theater in high school. Neither were in band, and I'm just pretty sure my father's tone deaf.
Yeah, I feel that. My family doesn't care much for music either, or like singing in general.
Well, it's funny that my parents got into stuff that they were always very, very supportive, and they wound up getting into theater in particular as a result of me being in, then later my siblings getting into it as well. So it was the type of thing that they expected to have a sporty son. To be fair, that I did sports growing up for a while, that I played baseball for several years. I did karate for a while. But it just sort of happened that whenever I was on these team sports, that I always got put on teams with jerks. So I wound up not liking the teams and thus sort of floated away from the sports.
No, I feel that. Oh god. It's always the worst, when you fucking hate your team, and it makes you hate the sport, too.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, they were very supportive, and it wound up being the type of thing where I sort of wound up giving them an education that getting them into theater, and that now that my father will listen to the Les Mis soundtrack with some relative frequency, and it's like, hey, I'm so proud of you, Dad.
Yeah, that's cute. I'm glad your parents were really supportive. That sounds so cute. What the heck?
Yeah,
that's probably more fun than being football and band kid where you had to. Oh my god. Yeah, no. If you were in marching band,
that's impressive. Well, I was in marching band.
Yeah, if you were in marching band, that's like already kind of an L, right? But if you're also in football and you have to fucking juggle the two, goddamn.
That's when you're one of the coolest kids on campus. If you're both in the marching band and on the football team, like we didn't have anyone like that at my high school or college. But you know, like you see stories of folks that do that, and it's just, well, frankly, I think it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, that's
crazy. The only reason I think it's a terrible idea is if you're playing a football game, you're supposed to take halftime to rest. And doing a marching band halftime show is not resting. That is actually, like, unless you're a punter or, you know, like someone who's only on the field for special teams or something, I don't think you should do marching band in football, because halftime exists for a reason. It's so you can actually recover. And if you're just doing more physical exertion, you're actually just it's gonna be worse for the team. So maybe if you're a punter, you know, one of those folks that only go on for certain plays and that you're not always running around, but only in that case.
Billy tried American football, had a coach that was actively encouraged them to break the rules when they thought they could get away with it, never did any team sport after that.
Wow.
Yeah, you get a lot of adults who are not good role models a lot of the time, especially when you're in high school or just school in general. Yeah, especially with high contact sport, I feel like that is a accident waiting to happen. I mean, God knows you already hear so much about fucking
there's
football.
A lot of
Yeah,
CT. There's a lot of science on football being not the best.
Not the best for the noggin.
No.
No, not at all. Yeah. I'm glad you got, it seems like you got out of there pretty fast, so.
Well, no, I never played football.
Oh, I mean Billy, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, but Billy getting out of it, yes.
Seems,
take up, you know, golf or tennis or soccer. You know, like, even with soccer, yeah, you're hitting the ball with your head every so often. There's a difference between hitting the ball with your head like once a game in soccer as opposed to every play of the game just ramming your skull into someone else's.
Yeah. Play some fucking like volleyball or something. I don't know.
Yeah, do that.
There's literally tons of sports.
There's the vast majority of sports, in fact, do not involve you know, head contact.
Yeah, you don't need to get a scholarship based on football, college football. That's fine.
Yeah.
Baseball is always an option.
Did you play any sports, even if you don't still play them today?
Oh fuck! I played. I guess the only team, like after school team sport that I was kind of on was I think I talked about this on stream a little like recently, but in middle school I was on a basketball team.
Ooh.
Who's and the coach there had a daughter on the team.
Uh-oh.
And that is the worst. And all the daughters, and I guess like the coaches could choose to an extent like who's on their team. So it was the coach's daughter.
At the same time, it's, think it's a lose-lose situation, honestly, because if you're an adult and you grew up playing basketball or whatever sport, and that you obviously are going to want to pass it on to your kid, and that when your kid gets into sports, if you are also into coaching, it's the type of thing of, well, it's going to be even more awkward and also just scheduling wise bad if the kid has to be on a different team from their parent. But at the same time, I feel like at that point, if the kid's on the team, the parent just shouldn't be on the coaching team.
Yeah, it's
like,
the
coach
team
a different level team. Just coach a different league entirely.
The team was comprised of the coach, the coach's daughter, the daughter's friend, the daughter's friend's dad, and like 3 more of the friend group. And then there was me and another girl. The other girl stopped going after like 2 months, and the clique started shit talking her. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to be here anymore. And I know when I leave, they're gonna shit talk me too. But I just left.
Yeah, no. At that point, you just sort of have to cut your losses around and say, okay, it was probably that they were able to sign up a certain number of folks for their team, and then that other people who signed up for the league that didn't request to be on a team were put into a generic pool, and that you got just randomly sorted on to this one for however many open slots were left on the team. And if it's gonna be like that, that you just because I can totally understand, kids want to be on teams with their friends, and I think that's fine. That if the parents aren't attached to it, and you and 4 of your friends want to sign up for baseball or basketball or whatever, and that you want to request to be on the same team, I think that's okay. It's when the parents get involved that things can get toxic real fast. Yeah,
I didn't even want to join a basketball thing. My mom signed me up for it.
Boo, nah.
Yeah, I wasn't even there when she signed me up for it. I was like taking a nap or something.
Oh no.
Yeah, she came home and told me that I was signed up for it.
Into basketball.
Yeah, I was forcibly vibe checked into basketball.
Oh no. Well, are there any sports, even if they aren't ones that you still play actively, are there any sports that you just enjoy playing just casually or even watching?
When I used to go to the gym daily, I liked the boxing.
Ooh,
fucking tiring as shit, but I did like it. But usually sport. There was a time when I was really into baseball, but that's because I watched a baseball anime.
Why am I blanking on it?
Diamond. Ace. Yeah.
Yep.
Ace of the Diamond.
Ace of Diamond. Yep.
Yeah, I'm an expert at Nap Olympics though.
Yeah, there we go, gold medal. But boxing though, that's obviously sports, certainly. So did you?
I should say I wasn't like intensely boxing. I just liked like the way it is, I guess. Or
yeah, the more sort of workout style boxing than competitive boxing, I suppose. So that's really cool. That I'm trying to think. I don't know if in 69 episodes I've had a guest that did any level of boxing before.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're overestimating me a little bit, but yeah,
even a little bit is certainly more than I've done.
I will say it is tiring as fuck. Like, I did not expect to get winded that quickly,
It's very intense physical activity.
Yeah, after my the first time I did it, I think I gained a new respect for professional boxers. Holy fuck. Plus that person is trying to punch you back. I was just fucking going at it at
you're hitting the punching bag. You don't need to worry about actually taking damage as you're exercising.
Oh man.
Well, so there are a couple of boxing anime. Have you ever seen, more recently, Megalobox?
I have. Oh wait, hold on. I have not actually. I have friends recommending me it, but I actually have not.
I definitely am gonna add to that list of recommendations that season 1 of Megalobox is just a sports boxing anime. And then season 2 is like an entirely different show. That it's a character study. That it's a social show. It has some a light amount of political commentary, but it's much more about the people than the sport at that point. It's actually a really interesting shift between the 2 seasons.
I see. Yeah, I'll put that on my ever-growing list.
Yeah, no, it's the list that for every one thing that you check off the list, 3 more get added.
It'll be right under Made in Abyss.
Made in Abyss, highly recommended as well. Season 2 is actually just starting to air.
Yeah, I can't wait to get emotionally scarred.
Oh, yep, absolutely, that's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Yep, that is a cute show that is not about cute things.
The polar opposite to cute girls doing cute things.
Yep. Cute girls doing terrifying and highly traumatic things.
But yeah.
Hopping back to karaoke for just a moment, when it comes to karaoke, do you have any favorite songs or just favorite genres, perhaps?
I do sing a lot of like weeb songs, I guess. I like anime, anime Vocaloid. I do like the slower songs though that are more in my range. Like I sing a lot of Fly Me to the Moon, and I also like what is it called? I also like Edelweiss from Sound of Music and stuff like that.
Okay, so even if you're not a theater kid, that you do still have some Broadway.
Okay, listen, I had some friends. Okay, I don't do not. Please.
Hey, I can't judge you. I admitted to being a theater kid.
Oh no.
Sea shanties. Hey, I have a past guest that can teach you sea shanties. No joke.
Oh man.
Are there any songs that you're currently working on that, even if you haven't debuted them on karaoke, that you're working towards getting to the point where you're comfortable singing them?
Oh yeah, I've been trying to, like, the Spy Family opening. I've been trying to, I want to do that. But there's also like some stuff like viewer recommended, and also I want to get off my ass and actually record some official covers. But yeah, I want to release some official covers, but yeah, very much to do, so little time.
Sure, for sure. And speaking of time, we've been at this now for over 2.5 hours.
Ooh.
And time has absolutely flown. So as we start to wind down, I have a couple of questions that I ask all my guests, and the first of those is, do you have any goals for the rest of the year? That we are now just past the halfway point in 2022. That whether it be a metrics goal where it's hitting partner or a certain number of viewers or followers, or if it's a more event-based goal that you want to have a certain type of stream or re-debut a new model. Is there anything that you're really hoping to accomplish before the end of the year?
Well, okay, so, well, I think a big one, or the one that's like closest, I think I want to hit partner. I've already sent in an application. I hope Twitch looks at it.
Best of luck. Best of luck.
Yeah, it's been a month already, so but I'm holding out.
I think that a purple check mark is more a when than an if, and that I know some folks that had to apply a good number of times. That goodness knows there is no rhyme or reason to Twitch's logic on
silly.
partner. It's just, do we feel like it today, or like, does your application get put in front of the right person? I feel like that you never know. So even if you don't get on the first go around, I'd be willing to bet that you can get that by the end of the year.
Yeah, and also thank you so much, by the way. Yeah, thank you for the kind words. And also like oh, Marcia, don't worry about, there's a VOD.
Yeah, that's what VODs are for. That this will be up on Twitch, obviously, for I think it's a week or 2 weeks. Yeah. But I always get my shows up onto YouTube usually within a week, so they will be available there.
Yeah, and there's also some stuff I'm working on that's kind of I want to keep a secret.
Top secret. Okay, well, you'll just have
yeah.
to stay tuned, folks. You
It's
got to make sure that you're following Barry on Twitch and
yeah.
Twitter to find out about all this stuff.
Hopefully on my 1 year anniversary, which is July 17th, I want to say.
Oh wow! So
yeah,
less than 2
very
weeks
soon.
away, coming up.
I want to do something special, and hopefully it'll be good. It'll turn out the way I want it to. But besides that, I just want to, do the best I can, make sure I want to grow my channel, make sure to like chat with my audience still, and do more fun events. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it's very clear here that you have a lot of folks that really do care about you, that, hey, they followed you all the way over here, and that, that's how you know you're really dedicated fans, because they aren't seeing your go live, that they're, either in the Discord or on Twitter or something following you. And there have been a good number of folks in the chat, giving you a little bit of flack, teasing you a little bit, but it's clear that it's all done with love, and it's always nice to see when folks come in, and it certainly makes life easier and more exciting for me as a host when there's an active chat. So thank you all in chat for stopping by today and for helping out, because you are a part of the show as well.
Thanks for calling, guys. Yeah, I really appreciate my chat members, even when I we tease each other. I'm still really grateful, because before I became a VTuber, I actually did not watch Twitch at all. Like, I would watch like CS:GO tournaments, like very, very occasionally, but like I did not know much about the Twitch culture, about live streaming, until I became a VTuber. And I'm really, really glad that I was able to find such a nice community and welcoming community.
And then the last question, it's one I ask all my guests: what does being a VTuber mean to you? And that's not what does it mean to be a VTuber, but to you, Barry, what does being a VTuber mean to you? And I've had all sorts of answers. That some people have a very clinical answer, and they'll say, it is a tool in my toolbox as a content creator. It is a mask that I wear to entertain others. Others have a very personal relationship with VTubing, and I've had people say it lets me get in touch with my inner child, or it lets me be someone that I can't be in real life. And everything in between and beyond is valid, but I feel that everybody has an answer that is uniquely them. So for you, Barry, what does being a VTuber mean to you?
Well, well, I didn't really get into, or when I first saw Hollow EN debut, I was so like mesmerized. I was like, what the heck? These fucking girls are anime on the internet? That's so cool. And initially I had gotten my model, and I didn't really care about, whether or not I would be Twitch partner, or if anyone would watch me, or stuff like that. I just cared that I had a really cool fucking model that I could use in like Discord calls or something with friends. But as I grew, like, I guess like it's natural that like you become ambitious with stuff that you end up really liking. And I ended up liking streaming and VTubing so much, and I think VTubing is a part of that, where you can use an avatar to connect with people like internationally, and just have fun together, and it just seems like you're taking part in another world, kind of, because sometimes the world isn't so nice, sometimes it can be tough, but sometimes you just want to wind down with an anime boy or girl and just hear them be really bad at Sonic Adventure 2. Yeah. So I think it's just a form of kind of entertainment that's kind of a little bit in escapism, but a lot of bit of fun.
Yeah. I always ask that question because while I never know what a guest is going to say, I feel like every time a guest answers, the answer always makes sense for them. And that I definitely think that's for you, that, you know, you're all about just, you know, having fun, vibing, and just having a good time. And it makes a lot of sense for you that, you know, you found this thing that overlaps with some of your interests, and that for you just being able to socialize and hang and game and get to know others and build a community, that it is entirely logical that is very appealing to you, just knowing your personality, knowing your interests. And yeah, that's really cool that that's what VTubing is to you. So as we wind down, if you could do me a favor and look around and find somebody that you would like us to raid.
Oh, okay, 1 second.
While Barry looks, I'll do a couple last housekeeping things. Again, folks, thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm Jay, this is Vtuber Talk. This has been that, you know, illustrious episode number 69. So if you all are interested, you can follow me here on Twitch. On Twitter, it's just /Vtuber Talk, nice and simple. But even if you don't follow me, better get one last shout out. Be sure to follow Barry here on Twitter and Twitch. That she does wonderful, wonderful work. And obviously, you know, you've seen the delightful folks in chat tonight. So if you want to be part of this lovely little hive, there you go. That Barry definitely has a lot of fun stuff. And you can expect to see me continuing to pop in on chat as well.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really enjoyed it. Thank you to Jay for inviting me. Thank you to the chatters, to the lurkers. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a raid target. I will DM you. I think you'll like this VTuber, because he's actually a VTuber focused on music, and he is actually a music professor.
Professor Bloom VTuber.
Yeah, he's having his 1-year stream anniversary.
Ooh, it's a special occasion too. How nice.
I think he's doing a bunch of Weird Al songs.
Oh, hey, Weird Al karaoke. I can get on board with that. Merca Rizel, thank you for the follow.
Yeah, thank you, Marcia. But yeah, you might be able to converse with him. He is also very into band. I believe he plays the trombone.
Oh no, that's what I play.
Oh no,
that's what I play, Barry.
Oh no! You know what? I was part of not marching band, the regular band for like 1 month, and I played trombone. You know, with
there you go. Well, even if band and trombone wasn't for you, that yay, trombone solidarity.
Yeah, now is my chance to hear Weird Al music.
Yes,
I mean, I've listened to some, but not a lot. Welcome
this
back,
is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes. Well, again, thank you, Barry. Thank you, everyone in chat. Thank you if you're watching on YouTube. Congrats. You got to the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe, click that bell, all that jazz. Woo. I know how to do content creation. How about that?
Click that fucking like button, bitch.
Do
you know
it.
You want to.
It's so alluring. That big, shiny, red subscribe button. But yes,
red like me. Are you really gonna pass this video without pressing it? You fucking...
Exactly. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, what the... You weirdo?
Oh, what's up with that?
Well, are you seriously watching a VTuber Talks all by yourself without subscribing?
Seriously, what are you doing with your life, man? Come on. Yes, aggressive marketing style. Click that bell or Barry will. Well, again, thank you, Barry. Thank you, everyone in chat. You all have a great rest of your evening. We're going to be sending you on over to Professor Bloom, and I'm apparently going to find out what they're all about as well. It sounds like we have a lot to look forward to. So have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I will see you all next time.